All right.
Are you still doing music and you can't hear it?
I put on music for myself, and I record it like that so that the videos that I upload to YouTube have background music. You guys can put on whatever music you want for yourselves. You're big people. You can do it yourselves.
I want background music.
Okay. Okay. Here.
I rolled a 13 on my divine intervention
All right. Here we go.
that I can't link.
What bullshit?
That one dies.
Yeah,
There is.
there we go. I was told to roll divine intervention.
Google Discord bots, and then there's a bunch. Just do a search
Wait.
for
Wait. Wait.
music.
Demos, are you serious?
Didn't you guys tell me to roll divine intervention?
I told you it was not divine intervention, channel divinity,
Fuck.
destroy undead. But divine intervention will be very helpful right now.
Fuck.
Can you link that?
All right.
Oh,
What's
I think that
divine
actually
intervention?
worked.
Damn it.
13 now?
Yeah,
Are we
what's
13
going on?
now?
We're 13.
Fuck.
Shit.
What is going on?
Do you guys know
Hey,
what divine
Midas,
intervention
can-
does?
No, can you link that?
No.
I can't open
Yeah,
it.
link
Here.
it.
Here. Let me link this shit.
Basically, he gets to ask his
Gee.
god for a favor.
Jeez. Here. Let me link this. It should be in the
He has to
Player's
roll.
handbook.
I think he has to roll a percentage dice or.
Yeah, and if you roll your level or lower, your god intervenes. Hey guys, can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You son of
That's
a
fucking
bitch.
awesome.
Demos, like seriously, you and your crazy like baller rolls at the
It's 13%.
Well, at least he can't use it for 7 days now.
you can't use it for 7 days. Let me read this freaking spell.
I don't even. What can you even get with a divine intervention? That's what I want.
It's your like get out of jail card.
Anything you want.
You intervene.
You
on-
saved our asses.
Tell him to take us into the city.
Or I could ask him to get even stronger.
Okay. Here,
No.
All right.
Tell him to
Let's.
take us into the fucking city.
Okay, here we go. All right, hold on. So previously in the GodBreaking, you guys were ambushed in an abandoned quarry by the pirate lord, the deposed pirate lord, Shen Lim. He had used he had a captured beholder's eyeball from Mozab, the other pirate lord that he had somehow acquired, and had rendered the entire quarry an anti-magic zone. And he proceeded to kick your guys' asses for a couple of rounds until Euphemium finally managed to get just enough out of line of sight of the eyeball to teleport herself up above it and remove it from play. At which point you guys managed to finally slay the pirate lord, who had been a thorn in your side for quite a long time. And then you guys returned to your keep. You hung out a little bit. You discussed about some preparations for how you wanted to prepare your keep and what you wanted to do next. Elwyn, you scried over to Ospium, and you had done that already. Euphemia, you teleported you guys to the rune circle, the teleportation circle outside the city walls. You didn't know it was outside the city walls until you got there, right? Oh, and Elwyn, you did scry there because you saw the zombies.
I did.
That's right. Okay, so Elwyn, you scried over, and this is what you saw. And you realized that the teleportation circle was outside the city walls. So you guys came up with a plan to bring some supplies with you, some food and supplies, and teleportation circle in to the spot there, and then for Elwyn to use his 7th level teleport spell to get into the city. However, upon landing, you guys realize, and let me just show you real quick where you are. So this is the city of Ospium. And the blue circle in the bottom left is where your teleportation circle is. There's actually like a broken down village around the area there. But there's an old teleportation circle. Okay, so that's kind of where you are. You're about, I'll call it 300 feet. No, well, this is not to scale. But let's say you're 300 feet from the city wall itself. Okay? You guys land, and you realize that What is that you just typed? Is that is like a massive dick? In
Is that where your mind goes instantly?
This
Yeah.
campaign does terrible things to you after a while.
I mean, we did run around with a giant demon dong for a while.
because I have no other idea what that is.
It's me cleaning my keyboard. I'm sorry.
Nice, nice. Okay. Um, you guys land, and you realize that there is actually a magic barrier surrounding the city. And that's where you guys left off last week. What would you all like to do?
Use your god, tell him to get us in the walls.
I actually don't get to ask. It's up to the DM what happens.
No, actually, you describe how you want him to help you, and then it's up to the DM if it happens or not.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically talk to your god, and he asks you what you want.
So you guys land. Can you see the map? You guys are in the
Yeah.
bottom left corner. At the top right are the walls of Ospium, right? You see that? There are, as you guys appear, that you have crates and kegs, casks of water and some foods and supplies with you, kind of in your little teleportation circle. You guys, as you appear, the zombies kind of around you take notice, and they kind of like turn, and they all start looking in your direction. They're not very fast moving, but they do take notice as you appear in the area. And between you and the city, this is what you see. Wait, did that work?
I don't see anything.
One second.
Oh, if you have the
There we go.
if you have, I was gonna say if you have the layers thing, it doesn't let you add or remove masks.
Can you guys see all that?
Oh yeah.
Are those skeletons or more undead?
Those are
What's the difference?
whole different bunches of kinds of stuff.
I thought we got teleported into
It's
the
like
middle
zombies.
You're teleported in the middle. This is between. It's between you and the city. The ones around you, immediately around you, have kind of you've gotten their attention. All the other ones are kind of facing the city. They're mulling around, kind of like Walking Dead style. They haven't noticed you yet. And there's a bunch further down behind you, back away from the city. Okay.
Ask your god to send us over the city.
All right, Deimos, what are you doing?
All right, Deimos has his he's concentrating,
Son
and
of a bitch.
he's like, "Hey guys, Tempest, since he's our super lord and savior, unlike this Modron guy, let's say Tempest could get us something. What would we want?"
Get in the fucking city.
Be inside the city.
Okay,
Is that what you're gonna ask for?
I'm gonna ask Tempest. I'd be like, "Can you help us get inside the city?
Send us inside the
Or
city.
maybe make
Be
me
careful
more
how you-
No, hold on. Word it. Say, ask Tempest to send us inside the city's magic barrier.
Yes. Can we get inside the city's magic barrier?
Ospium's
Send
magic
us.
barrier.
Send us.
Muscular bodies.
Say
And
the
make sure
word,
you clarify it's
send us.
Ospium's. It's Ospium's magic city.
Ospium.
Ospium's.
Big muscles inside magic barrier.
Okay.
Someone inject.
So,
I don't know if it can be any more clearer than that, but we're trying.
all right. So you let's see here. So you in a flash of divine insight and inspiration, even Deimos, you call out to your god using your divine intervention ability, and you rolled exactly what you needed to roll. So your divine intervention is successful. you can see from where you are the cloudy skies part slightly, and beyond there, the what would normally be like a golden bright sun to you, Deimos, is tinted red as the god of wars, um, an apparition of the god of war, kind of forms in the clouds and coalesces in the sky. You hear bellowing out through the heavens, and as this is happening, it's almost as if time around you seems to have slowed. It's not stopped. It's just dropped to a slow crawl. The zombies who've just noticed you and have started to turn and have started to move in your direction are now almost standing still. As the skies ripple and shake, and the rest of you guys can see this as well. You hear his booming voice echo across the skies. I have come to lend thee aid. You desire to enter the city, true?
Yes.
Yes,
and
yes.
to be even stronger.
Shut up, Deimos.
He says. Well, you have become strong indeed, Deimos, cleric of Tempest. Behold now the power of the god of war. And then in a flash, so on the map, I don't think I have... Oh, I do. Hold on one second. Let me grab this. In a flash on the map, the skies part, and it's a very cloudy day, but in a streak that's like over where you are to where the city walls are, the clouds just part as if like just split apart, and a beam of red light descends from the skies. Do I have a token here for this? I might actually here. Hold on. Special effects. It's about as good as I can get it. Okay. A beam of light descends from the skies, and as the clouds part, it reveals this wave of light just bursts down, burning from the heavens, impacting the ground, and cauterizing and searing everything in its path, in a huge swath between you and the city wall. The zombies and the undead in the area underneath the light are instantly incinerated. Right? So right now, along this beam of light, there's a clear open path. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
It's not exactly lined up. And where the light touches the barrier, you see the barrier itself rippling and flexing. It's gone prismatic with a multiple of colors, and you can see it begin to spread slightly, like as if like there's an opening in the portal. It's in the barrier itself.
As soon as I see an opening big enough to take us through, I'm going to teleport us in there.
Okay.
Along with all the supplies.
All right. So go ahead and burn the spell.
Done.
Alright. As that happens, this clear opening, there's zombie bodies flying everywhere, there's burning flesh all over the place, and the opening the wall, in the barrier, opens up. Elwyn, your spell goes off, and you all vanish. Okay. Wow. So that happened. You guys got in there a lot faster than I thought you would.
All right, see you guys next week.
Yeah.
So, can he roll that D100 every time we get into an encounter?
It's
No, he can only do it once every 7 days, and even if he does roll, he only has a 13% chance to get it every single time. So it's nice when it happens, but he has better tools in his arsenal that are way more effective.
Oh, can you hear me guys again?
yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
It's once per long rest. If it succeeds, he has to wait 7 days to do it again.
Correct.
On the way in.
So
though,
yeah, he could try every single time, but it's
oh, this is the
again a
first time it's
13%
worked.
chance.
Yes,
Yeah,
the first time
it's
it's worked.
worked.
Okay, so Deimos, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna give him the Buddy Tempest. It's like the same thing as the Buddy Jesus, except I'm like flexing really hard the whole time.
As his visage begins to dissipate in the skies, Deimos, you feel his eyes turn directly towards you and make eye contact, and the searing power of his eyes, like burns through your through any kind of false pretense or anything. It's like he's seeing you completely and totally, and you hear reverberating in your mind. He says, "You have grown strong. Very good. Continue to grow in strength, and we will." Let me see, how do I want to say this? And I
Make
will
sure he
have
closes
work.
that damn shield.
And I will have a task for you to accomplish when you are ready. And with that, the clouds collapse, and the sun goes back to its yellowish gray, and the city wall subsumes upon itself, and the zombies as they come charging in, to enter the gap. The wall collapses, and the zombies are unable to enter. Okay.
So how much EXP do we get for that? Because I cast that at like a level 20 spell.
That's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so you guys are now inside the city of Ospium. So Elwyn, you pointed your teleportation spell. I'm gonna say you guys zapped inside the city walls. Let me see here real quick. Oh, my pointers are kind of stuck. Huh. I turned on layers on this this map so I could do that zombie picture, and sometimes it screws with images. Okay, I'll say you guys have teleported into Ospium right in this open clearing right here. Okay. You hit the ground. It's an open kind of dusty area. Around you can see various houses and buildings. They all seem to be of pretty fashionable design, as if this is kind of a somewhat of an upscale area of town. And this open area is used for various purposes, kind of like a fairground, or a gathering festival area. But right now it's not currently occupied. There's nothing in there. Looking around, you can see remnants of new and old architecture. Knowing what you know that Ospium itself is a very old city. It was built during the dawn of men. It has long been the heart of human culture and trade and power. There's much ancient history, and there's even much ancient magic and power in this city. This is basically the heart of mankind on this continent. Alright. What in the world would you guys like to do?
Feldorn pulls out his notebook and starts taking notes.
Okay.
I say we go to that tower where that lady was.
What
at.
is the biggest castle-looking structure I can see?
Now, this is a very, very large city. It's quite a bit larger than Westfane. Like, it's probably about 4 times the size of Westfane. So,
Westfane's like that old town in the middle?
But I assume a castle would
Yeah.
stand above everything else, so
Okay.
can I see a castle?
So right here, so what you can obviously see, so there's a couple of raised areas in the city. This area here, right here, the Citadel, is on like a large hilltop in the center, or not in the center, but off in that part of the city. And atop that is a large fortress-like looking structure. You can see it above the walls of the old town that do span the city interior. The other raised area that's nowhere near as high, but is still somewhat elevated, is this area down here, the Noble Quarter. It is a raised area, and down here at the bottom of it, you can see a pretty white, gleaming tall spired castle right there. Elwyn, you recognize it as the one that you got a brief glimpse of the first time you cast your scrying
Okay.
spell.
So it's this one down here and not the one up there?
Correct.
Okay.
The one up top here, the Citadel, is old. It's like an old style. It's centuries, if not about a millennia old. It looks mighty.
Okay.
It looks strong, but there's definitely been advances in architecture since then.
Well, let's grab all the supplies and head for the noble quarter.
Yeah, I look at Elwyn and I say, which one do you think? And I point to the two raised areas.
It's the one down here. I point to the new Citadel. That's the one I saw when I scryed briefly. Should we find like a city guard or something so they can send people to gather all these supplies and pass them out wherever they need them?
Sure, if we see one, but I think we should just carry it to ourselves as we walk that direction. That's kind of a secondary.
As much as we can take.
What's this big building right here? Where?
That's Celisar's arms. It's a large. Let me see here.
You have that listed as the bow and bard.
19. That's 19.
I was reading that as a 10. Never mind.
That's Celisar's arms. It's a very large warehouse, almost looking structure, but it seems open, and inside you can see a glittering array of weaponry, armor, implements of war. There's a whole section devoted to like ballista and chariots and siege weaponry, that kind of stuff. It's a huge emporium of war supplies, basically.
Are there any people walking around? What
Yeah.
time of day is it?
Yeah, it is midday right now. The as you guys landed, the teleportation spell is kind of flashy. There's a burst of light, and by this time, you see onlookers who have noticed you start to kind of like gather in, and then no one's really approaching you yet, but they are kind of like pointing at you, and there's a small crowd starting to like coalesce in the area.
Oh, I thought the city was pretty abandoned.
No,
That changes what I think we should do.
This place is massively populated and occupied. It's probably got some 200,000 people in it.
Yeah, okay. Then I do begin to look for a city guard.
Okay, you're looking for a guard. Anyone else? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, looking for a guard as I move towards the castle that Elwyn said he thought was.
I'm gonna start gathering up the supplies.
As I carry supplies.
I'm gonna swing by and grab myself a chariot.
You want to go over there?
Well, I'm just gonna be like, hey, dude, how much for a chariot?
Felder,
And
what you
I'll
looking
buy
for?
a chariot.
Same for guards.
So, it only takes us a few minutes. Some people have notified the guards of these strangers that have appeared in the midst of the city. And you recognize you're obviously not dressed in the fashion of Erlin, so you do look somewhat like outsiders. And you've got a couple of dark elves amongst you. You've got
Actually, I'm gonna cast.
you gonna do what?
I'm looking for a spell. I'm gonna cast.
Well, you guys have already arrived, and people have seen you two there. So as the crowd
Well, no,
begins to come
disguise
together-
self.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna disguise myself as my original body.
Okay, which was also a drow, right?
Yeah, but this is the original city that we kind of worked with for a long time. Maybe our original bodies might be more recognized.
Okay.
So I'm gonna disguise myself as my original.
As you guys are kind of gathering your thoughts and doing this, a little bit of the crowd parts, and a couple of armed guards in very pristine-looking armor, carrying with plumed helms and these long spears and shields, approach you. The one up front He kind of walks up to you and says, "You outsiders, state your business and how you come to have appeared here in the middle of our fairgrounds." Speak.
Charisma people.
I'll step up and I'll say, we have. What's the name of the princess or the queen?
The queen's name is
Mine-
Falza Brightlord. She is the Amazon princess that King Calum won the heart of many years ago, and wed and brought to the city. And the princess is Akelia Brightlord, and the prince is Darius Brightlord.
Okay, I'm gonna tell them we come seeking audience with Queen Brightlord. That's all you need to know.
He says, "By what right do you dare appear in our city and request to see our High Queen?"
DM question.
Yes.
What was our original name when we
group?
were working with the city and working with, the king?
You were known in Tales as the Righteous Seven. You never really named yourselves that, but that's kind of what the bards had, and the minstrels had named you.
Oh, the bards.
Okay. I'm gonna, the garden say we are part of the Righteous Seven, and we're here to see the queen, who knows us by name and face.
No, that's a tale if I've ever heard one. We all know that the Seven fell in the Great War 3 years ago, along with King Calum himself. And here we are, trapped, secluded, and left to die within our own city walls. As our
Alistair
risen
has
dead.
brought us back, so now we're here to fight the demons. So take us to the queen now.
Are you trying to intimidate him? Are you trying to persuade him?
Persuade?
Let me roll it. Okay, Deimos, are you actually going to go do something?
Yeah, I'm giving him the signature move that Deimos had from way back in the day. I suplex one of them.
So you grab one and you suplex him to the ground?
Yep, and I tell him that my name is Deimos, and hello.
Well, with a 26, you're probably going to break his back, so...
Okay, I will not break his back.
Alright.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna tell the leader of the one that was speaking to us. I'm gonna tell him we have brought a few provisions, what we could bring at the time. Why don't you distribute it wherever you need it the most, while you have someone guide us to the queen.
Killjack, try relogging. Try leaving the channel, then coming back into the channel.
I mean, as long as I can hear the DM, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Just know that they have to type it to me if they want a direct interaction.
Just try re-entering the channel. That might work.
This is
No one
happening
cares
all.
what Deimos says.
This is happening all week last week, so this isn't unusual actually.
Jeez. Man, I don't know what's going on with your version
How
of
do you
Fantasy Grounds.
how do you go back into the general?
A what?
Oh, how do I can leave and try to come back, but how do I get out of this channel?
edit.
There's only one channel.
Other channel. There, I made another channel. If you bounce out to it, then come back in, maybe.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
I can
always-
always hear you.
Okay.
It's just me because I'm on the website instead of the app.
All right, just let
Probably.
me know and I'll switch real fast.
Download the damn thing.
I can't. When I use it and people start talking, it's like a machine gun going off in the background, and your voice has become all distorted.
Try with your phone. The Discord
Options?
app on your phone is pretty good. Or is there something wrong with your sound card or driver? I don't know.
Okay. Problem with my phone. If I use my phone, I can't use my headphones because they're USB headphones.
Gotcha. All right, whatever. So Deimos, so Euphemia, you're there talking to the guard, and all of a sudden Deimos comes charging forward, grabs the other guard, and bending backwards, pulls him over his head and suplexes him into the ground behind him. The crowd gasps and
I'm
you
gonna
hear
go
some
over.
ladies scream, and you hear shouts as there's a general alarm going up. The one in front of you, Euphemia, pulls out his spear, points it at you, and says, "Intruders, hostile, We knew it. We knew it the whole time. Sound the alarm! And you hear
I,
other guards out
Feldor,
in the area start to cry out and shout.
Feldorn kind of stands in front of him. What was that dwarf's name that introduced me to the party? And what was the
Oh,
name of his
his name
organization?
was
Can you remember?
Obeard. He didn't have it. I mean, he never
The
told you the name
Crow.
of the organization. He told you
The Crows.
his contact here was named the Crow.
I walk up to them and to the guard and I go, "Hold, sir, hold. We're not your enemies. I am from Obeard's group, and we are here to meet the Crow. We have brought some supplies to aid you in this fight against the undead horde that stands at your gates. Please ignore my dim-witted friend. He knows not what he does."
Yeah, persuasion with disadvantage.
So, just question.
Yeah,
OC. Was my persuasion gonna work?
it would have if Deimos hadn't done that.
Thanks, Deimos.
No
you
one tells
ass.
Deimos that Deimos isn't Deimos.
All right,
You weren't
Feldorn,
Deimos.
as
You're
you
a
come up
freaking-
and you make your case, you see the guard pause for a second. He hesitates. You're not sure if there was a little bit of recognition in his eyes, or if there is, or it was the force behind your words that caused him to pause. But he stops for a second. He does not stab you. But as that happens, the crowds part, and a larger contingent of armed guards, all wearing the same kind of getup, start appearing. You see that there's several dozen of them now. There's about 30 or 40 of them. And at the forefront, on horseback, are a number of guards, but one in particular looks like an officer comes out. The plume on his helm is white, and his cape is emblazoned with gold and kind of like this orange, shining orange color.
How old is he?
The officer comes up to you.
Yeah.
You're guessing in his lower 40s.
So he's probably not old enough to remember us.
You guys were alive about like the war was 3 years ago. So
Oh, I thought it was longer than that.
no, 3 years ago.
Well, does he recognize me by any chance?
By appearance, you're not sure. You'd have to see. There aren't a lot of There's no
Or do I
video.
recognize him?
There's no television coverage. You don't recognize him. Okay. Let's see. How bad is the suplex guard? Let's see. It was non-lethal, but he is on the ground, kind of like groaning and writhing in pain. It knocked the air out of him. His he's not able to stand up right now.
Is my knowledge probably tell me his back is broken?
Roll me an investigation check or a medicine check. Either one.
Probably investigation, since that's intelligence.
I'm proficient in medicine. I'll take a look. Oh,
Okay.
you got it.
Judging by the way he's moving around and is able to squirm, his back is not broken, probably. But there's probably definitely some bone bruising and a lot of pain.
Okay, so I will throw away a first level spell slot to give him cure wounds as my hawk lands on his shoulder.
Your hawk will rest on
I'm
his
gonna
shoulder.
walk-
You fucking kidding me? Why do
I'm
I
gonna
suck
walk
at
up to
cure?
the general, or the captain. I mean, whatever it is.
Okay. He looks down at you with his spear, and as he approaches, you see his contingent of guards begins to circle around you guys. They're mostly in a semicircle, but you can see they're quickly coming to completely envelop you all. He looks down at you and he says, "A drow female, and another, a male over there." He says, "You have
I'm a priestess
some
of
gall."
Elistray.
Who?
I'm here to save the city. Priestess of Elistray. Haven't you ever heard of that?
He
I've
spits
been
on the ground.
serving this city for the past how many years, whatever it is.
He says, "I know not of any Elish stray. Some heathen god for sure. Tell me,
Will you just take us to the Queen? We have no time to spend with you.
You have time to injure my men.
He told me
Well,
that I
he's
wasn't
an idiot,
Deimos,
and
and
your
my
guy's
name is
really weak.
Deimos.
One of the two.
You should get better men.
Yes. He said I wasn't who I was, so I showed him who I was.
The guards all around you, they lower their spears. And then they assume combat positions.
I said, did you not just see the god guy come down from, like, the sky?
We did indeed sense some kind of disturbance in our magic barrier. And that is why we are in this area. This is the area in which it occurred. It seems that we have finally, after a number of years, acquired some intruders. Hostile ones at that. And of a rather lower species.
I'm gonna
So I'm gonna
cast.
kind of look. Wait. I'm gonna look at our teleporting guy and kind of make a gesture to see if he can teleport us to the normal quarter to the castle.
I
Get
can't.
away from these guys. Why not?
I only had one level 7 spell slot. I'm gonna cast minor illusion above the guards. I'm gonna make my voice into a like loudest I can make it with minor illusion, and I'm gonna make the sound that says, "Do you not see the supplies we have brought you? We are friends." Just so it can be very loud on top of everybody.
Okay, roll me a performance check, Elwin. The at that point, the guard who was talking to Feldorn, who had paused for a second, he approaches, and he says, "Sir," and he beckons down. The guy inclines over, and you can see the guard whispering up into the officer's ear, and the officer pauses, as if he's considering for a second. And he turns to you all and says, "It seems you have brought some sort of cargo with you. If it truly is food supplies and goods, then you will not mind if my men search it to make sure it is not some form of contraband." And not even asking for your permission, he gestures, and a couple of the men come over, and they start opening some of the packages and looking inside the casks. After a minute or two, they nod, and he says, "You have 1 minute to explain yourself before I have my men skewer you and tossed out over the wall."
I'm getting kind of pissed of their threats. You guys see me getting a little impatient and start kind of pacing around.
I say, is there any way that I can prove to you that I am Deimos?
Deimos?
Yes, I am a cleric, and I like to fight things.
Deimos the noble, Deimos the righteous,
Something like
perished
that.
in combats 3 years ago with our great king.
Yeah, but then the god guys brought us back. It's a pretty sweet deal.
Euphemia
sure.
Elistray brought us back.
Mm-hmm.
I am Euphemia.
Yes, and I've heard crazier tales. I also know that the god Pelor himself has reincarnated down the street, and he likes to shine shoes.
Really?
Well, you better go suck his dick then.
Oh shit! I was like, well, how about this? How many clerics do you have in this city?
Quite a number.
Quite a number. Bring one of them to me, and I'll get this all figured out for you. Okay?
He says, "I have yet to hear anything persuasive. You sound like a batch of lunatics to me."
I start just casting light on everything I see. I'm like, see, I got god powers.
Fascinating. Wonderful.
And then I take the captain
Okay,
out.
I'm gonna
hold
dimensional door
her.
out of here.
Where are you gonna go?
500 feet closer to the noble quarter, the castle,
You
and
get
then I'm gonna use my gyro wings to fly there.
most of the way across the field.
What field?
The field that you're standing in, the fairgrounds.
Well, I'm gonna go straight up in the air.
Okay, you're straight up in the air and you're gonna cast wings.
Yeah.
This is a large city. It's probably a couple miles to the castle. Maybe a mile.
Okay, I'm sorry, but your scaling is really bad then.
Yep. You have to deal with it.
Fine.
All right.
Well,
I
how
just-
long would it take me to get there?
Flight speed at least, 60 foot per second per movement flight speed. I don't know, just call it 5 minutes.
Then still sounds like the best idea. So
Okay, so Euphemia
Because we need to get the
vanishes and starts darting off into the sky. At that point, the guards do notice and they say, "Sir, they are indeed magic users." He says, "Very well. It
wow,
seems
he's
that-
smart.
Yeah. He says, "Do not worry. We come prepared."
I stick my hands out of like, how about this?
You guys
How do you
haven't
just,
done
like, lock
anything
us
to
up?
convince this guy that he should trust you.
I fell
Felder.
out. the
I was
captain.
gonna, but someone had to suplex people.
Yeah.
And
This
did
is
it.
all.
back.
God of War came down saying, "Go fight shit." So I'm roid raging.
I mean, Feldorn's kind of pissed off smoking his pipe that he got called the lesser being.
You guys,
He's ready. He's ready to lob a fireball into the group of
You guys
people and watch them
you
die.
guys are really close to starting like an interior war inside the city right now.
Shit, he actually wants to try and dispel the magical field and let the undead have their way with them.
Just give up, guys, and then I'll get the queen and get you everyone out.
All right. I pull out the cat. I say, "How could someone bad people have such a beautiful cat go along with them?" And I start petting her.
I don't know what things are like on the outside. Perhaps all measure of sanity has left the world. But here in Ospium, the jewel of the heart of Erlin, we maintain civility and order still, even while our country dies around us.
How about this?
I
can-
Are
actually,
none of you equipped with sound mind to explain yourselves?
I chime in again, cutting Deimos off, and I go, "Look, we came here to help you with these undead.
So you
We
claim.
brought.
Okay.
You
Oh.
shut up. You're starting to piss me off, and you're about.
I get off my maul. I walk forward. I push Feldorn to the side gently, as kind of like, let me take over. And I look the guard directly in the eye with a persuasion check and say to him, "Okay, look. Being frank with you, we are the heroes of West Vane. We stopped the Slot invasion there. Several members of my party were part of the Wretched Seven. They died. They've come back to life by the work of Elistray, and we are here to help you. We have had visions. No, we haven't had visions. We have scribed the princess. She knows that we exist. If you bring us to her, she'll know the scryer, and several of us know the queen. I roll a persuasion check if I need one, but I'm just being frank with the guy."
Okay. Roll persuasion. From Westvane, you say.
Yes.
And the princess would vouch for you.
I look at Elwyn.
I'm very frustrated at this point. I say yes, she will recognize me.
I think Owen's on the same boat I am. He's trying to sit
Yeah,
there and
I'm-
figure out how to dispel the magic field and watch the undead kill people.
I'm about to dragon's breath all these guys.
Yeah, I just tell them they have a very personal
I
relationship with her.
I cover Deimos' mouth and try to hold him back so he doesn't
I
say
say,
anything.
"Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
And I
You guys can
whisper to him.
You guys can do whatever you want, but it will have consequences. Just so you know, whatever you guys
Whisper.
end up doing.
I whisper to Deimos, "You've already done enough damage. Go sit down." Go play
Deimos
with
goes
your
in the
cat.
back, and I sit in the back and I start petting my cat.
And actually,
And they
at
look
that
in my face.
at that point, I cast Speak with Animals, and I ask the cat in cat language, "How the hell do you put up with that?"
You see the cat shrug his shoulders and just kind of roll her eyes.
But actually, she could communicate with me. I'd understand anything she says, and in cat, where Deimos and everybody else would not.
The cat is a few words. Is a few words. At this point, the guy that Deimos suplexed, having been at least given some reprieve through Kildrak's spell, his cure wound spell.
And I will, as a show of good faith, I'll send down my hawk again and cast another one, hoping
No,
for better
I'll-
results this time.
I'll do it. I'll do it. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Ignore that.
Okay.
I'll
let
walk up
Deimos
to
do it.
him and I'll go heal him. Be a nice little guy. Should have been stronger.
I'm going to take a deep breath and, not trying to hide my frustration, I'm just going to tell the guard it. It was already explained to you who we are, what we are doing. What else do you want? What do you need to see?
He says. To be honest, you didn't do yourself any favors by assaulting one of my men. However,
Well,
we have heard tale of what has happened in Westvane, and bits of your story ring true. If you truly are the heroes and the adventurers that you claim to be, then your story will hold up upon inspection. If not, well then. We know how to deal with miscreants in this city. There is still the rule of law within Ospium.
I calm down a little bit, and I look at the guy. Look, don't pay attention to my muscle-bound friend here. His god came forth and helped us, and he was having some rage problems. I'm assuming when he was a child, he was dropped a few times on his head, and
He
the
looks-
whole being reincarnated did not help his charisma. So, please, just listen to us. We are the ones with heads of reason. We meant no harm with suplexing your friend there. We brought you supplies. We are here to aid you. My friend here, I gesture over to Elwin, has scried your town and has seen the undead horde outside. The princess has seen his scrying and gave him a wink. Don't know how much of a sign that is, but she gave him a wink. We were told by Obeard that you were in grave danger, and we have decided to come risk our lives to aid you in any way we can.
He nods. He says, "You saw the princess."
I did.
Odd. She has not shown her face for at least 2 years, and none have heard from her. She remains sequestered in her castle, maintaining the barrier that protects our city.
I saw her in her quarters. She let me through the barrier. I felt it. If not, my spell would not have gone through. She knows we're coming.
What, if you did indeed see her, what color were her eyes?
What do I
Deimos
roll
would
to
know.
remember?
You remember them clearly. They were burned into your memory when she turned and gazed at you.
Green. Like an emerald.
Very well. Men, he says, our thanks for the provisions. They're as good as gold in this town. Indeed, foodstuffs and supplies are becoming harder and harder to come by, and there are many mouths to feed. If you are okay with it, I will see that these get distributed in a fair and just fashion.
Of course.
Very well. My name is Jorgen. I am captain of the guard in the West Quarter. It seems you have arrived at a fortuitous occasion if you are who you claim yourselves to be. For the state of the city has fallen into question as of late. Here, sequestered for the last 3 years, um, no amount of people can stand being holed up for that long, with death and chaos surrounding us. I will bring you to our leaders, and perhaps they will be able to make sense of it.
Thank you.
Euphemia, we're going to zip over to you now. You're flying over the city, and you see Feldorn. You did. You do, but no one brought it out. You see the massive civilization and the businesses and streets and buildings beneath you. It looks pretty much like a very active city. From where, as high above the ground as you are, you don't really make out any details about the people or anything like that. But as you approach the castle, you see it's multi-terraced. There are a lot of turrets and layered walls, and it's actually quite nicely designed. What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
I'm going to that tower.
Okay. Off in the far corner, there is a single slender tower that's rises high above the rest, and you kind of fly up to it.
Yeah, I'm going to land on the terrace.
Okay.
What do you call it?
Okay. You make your way over there, and up above at the top of the slender tower, there's indeed kind of like a balcony that stretches around it that rings the top of this tower, and you land gracefully on the platform.
Yeah, I'm dismiss my and walk inside and I'll call Princess's name.
Okay. You walk inside, and the quarters seem pretty serene. They're tidy. They're very well furnished, quite luxurious, but it looks lightly used, as if it is inhabited, the person does not use much of the furniture in the room. As you enter, off in the corner, seated at a chair, kind of by at a desk with a mirror in front of it and papers and books and stuff across it, you see a young lady with raven dark hair seated there. Her back is facing you.
I'm going to call her name, but I'm not going to advance too close to her.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's me, Euphemia.
As you are about to open your mouth, before the words escape your lips, you hear her crystal clear voice come across the room to you. I know who you are, and I'm glad that you have found me. And she's going to turn and look at you.
Is that her? Do I see anything that looks like it might be someone else?
Your mic is breaking up. I can't tell what you just asked. Say it again.
I was wondering if that's her. Do I recognize her?
Yes. The last time you saw her was right before the war. She was younger, much younger then. She has matured and blossomed in the years that have gone by. But this is Princess Ikelia Brightlord, the incredibly talented savant of a wizardress that helped cleave the massive invading army back in your first encounter.
But she doesn't give off anything like that. She might be a demon or anything like that.
You have no way to know right now.
Okay. Well,
You do
then
recognize her.
I'll just bow and, like I normally do, and say, We've come to help you as much as we can, but I need your help as your guards I'm about to kill my companions because of Deimos the idiot.
The faint hint of a smile approaches her lips. She seems pretty melancholy, and as she looks at you, you can tell she's looking at you, but it's almost as she's looking past you. There's a great weariness to her whole demeanor. She's still sitting straight and looking very much proper and ladylike, but you can sense in the tiredness of her eyes, and the lack of movement in her facial muscles, that she seems weary. She says, "Yes, I sensed as much. Here." She gestures with her hand, and in an instant, the rest of you guys, that you were standing in the courtyard with the guards, you dematerialize, and kind of like a fog that just kind of like comes together and gathers up in a cluster. You slowly reappear and become corporeal inside her chamber at the top of this glistening white spire. I believe that is all of you. Yes. Okay.
When did Deimos get a Berserker Great Axe?
He's had it for a while. He got
Had
that
it.
off Ajax.
Did I accidentally roll that? I didn't mean to roll that.
She did.
Okay, well, I didn't roll that.
I was like,
I look
oh
at the
god.
others and then I bow to her. My thank you.
She nods. So Kildrak, this is Akelia Brightlord. She is a once in like a millennia level of natural magic user. She was able to, at a young age, be able to do things that some of the most powerful wizards in the land couldn't even understand.
A sorcerer.
Sorcerer slash wizard. It's a studied spell.
She had to learn from people, but like her magic is inherent in her.
Yeah, she studies spells, but and she learned her abilities, but her natural power kind of is able to do much more with typical spells. So
Okay.
the barrier around the city is, it's based on like a wall of force, but obviously it's become something much more powerful and much more pronounced. And when she summoned a meteor swarm from the sky, it was able to decimate a full like square mile of an invading army, instead as opposed to just a few hundred square feet that the normal spell would, that kind of thing.
As we rematerialize and I notice her, I begin to kind of blow hot air on my knuckles and wipe the shoulder blades of my armor.
Okay. She says,
So where's your mother?
"Mother." She would be, and she pauses for a second as if concentrating. Down below in her chamber. She and I have not spoken much lately. She is much concerned with the disappearance and the loss of my brother.
Oh, we need to talk to her as well.
Yes, I believe that would be best. I apologize. I am so weary. I need
Is
to-
there anything we can do?
She says, "I have been maintaining this barrier for close to 3 years now. Ever since the Great War and the massive retreat from the slaughter of where my father fell. The undead hordes and the orcs and the goblins, they tore across our great country. And over the course of a month or two, the remnants of our civilization has gathered here. And in order to save us all, I erected this barrier and have been maintaining it ever since. Forgive me, but it taxes me, and I have grown quite weary."
Is there any way my magic can aid you? Can I help you in some way while we are here? I asked shyly.
She says, "Some company would be nice, but I fear this is my burden to carry."
Yeah, as she says that, I kind of shove Elvin to the side and say, I'm your dwarf then.
I actually grab
Ugh.
Kildrak and I give him a real
We'll
mean
do our
stare.
best to get rid of the
I'll be
undead
like,
army for you
I
so you
used to
can take down the
babysit.
shield.
He says, she nods, and she says, "I would ask, however, there is great unrest in our city. I can hear the cries and the screams. Not literal screams, but I can sense the turmoil from here up in my spire, but I am much disconnected. I know that there are needs and there are great tasks to be done within our city. Talk to my mother. She would know more of it than I. And any respite that
It
you
would
could
help.
give would be a blessing, a wonderful blessing."
You say restorations?
Respite. Um,
Respite.
yeah.
Would greater restoration help her in any way?
What are you trying to restore?
Not restore, but just give her back some vitality or stuff, because it says like reduction of target like ability scores or whatever, all that type of stuff. Like just make it so she's like not as tired, because apparently holding a spell for 3 years might be quite tiring.
um, she says, "No manner of spells would aid me, but I would appreciate your prayers. And, as I said, encouragement and some company every once in a while. But however, anything you can do to protect and guard my people, that is what my heart desires. I maintain
I'm
this
gonna
barrier to keep our city safe."
I'm gonna give her a one of my talismans of Elistray that we got from Elistray when we were resurrected.
Okay. Okay. Is it a used one or a not used one?
Yeah, the used one.
Okay.
I'll stay and provide you with some company while the rest of the groups talks to your mother.
Oh,
We'll stay
Damon's
as
just gonna
well.
sit right next to Kildrak, and he's gonna give him like the stank eye the whole time.
I
We're
am
just gonna pull
staying
everyone
in the chamber, and
Aisha can say, not you.
Elwin.
What?
Okay.
Staying in, and unless you beat me in a strength check, you're not making me move.
Oh, what'd you say?
Okay. So you guys want to stay with her, and while if you go down.
I grab him actually, and I pull him out.
Yeah, as long
This
as
is like the one
if
thing that Deimos is good at. That's, using his power for the right reasons.
Deimos
Yeah.
is like pulling me out of the room and not staying himself, then I don't resist. But if he, I'll opposing strength check. I'm not going to beat him though.
He picks you up like a little baby. A little baby dwarf you are.
I explain
I
to
say-
Kildrak that I babysat her, and you treat her with respect.
Yeah.
Look him straight in the eye and say, "My intentions are nothing but honorable."
To Deimos, Euphemia, and Ashok, she's like a niece to you, because Kaelin was a very close friend. Okay. Okay, so whatever you guys want to do. Is there anything else you want to say? Who's staying? Elwin, are you gonna stay?
Yeah, I'll stay.
Okay,
So
why aren't you dragging him out, Elwin?
Now I look at Elwin.
So Euphemia, she's gonna turn to you, and as she's rolling the amulet over in her hand, she turns it back and forth, and it's the crescent moon with a sword through it, and she says, "This is beautiful. The craftsmanship is beyond anything I have seen here. This does not.
It was
come-
given to us by Elistray.
Yes, it must be of divine origin. Wondrous. Thank you. What a grand gift."
May it give you strength.
"I shall cherish it." She turns to you, Elwin, and she says, "And if you are intent to stay with me, then and at least sit for a while and tell me some stories. What is going on in the world?
That's exactly what I was planning on doing.
I am very pissed. I'll just say that.
Again, Aisha can say anyone else, I'm going to teleport them, you know, into the middle of
Why
the
do you
sky
keep
and let
on
them
saying
fall.
Ashok? It's Elwin who wants to stay.
Yeah, but I trust
wait
Aisha.
a
I don't
second.
trust Ellen.
Pretty sure Ashok doesn't want to stay. No offense, Ashok.
That's
don't
why
think
I
so.
trust him.
This time, I look at Kildrak, and I know Kildrak was a follower of Tempest for a bit, so he must be a divine and holy person. And I tell Kildrak to keep an eye on Elwyn.
I was going to say to Deimos, I'm like, if I can't stay, I'll help you get Elwin out of here.
I was like,
Really?
well, you better.
You guys are making big deal out of this. I just get up and walk out.
Oh. And I look at Kildrak, and I'm like, Kildrak, tell her some stories.
And then I'm gonna be, I'm gonna tell Deimos. I was gonna ask her about the cult of the dragon, since she is very wise. See if we can get any more information to avenge Balinar in the
Yeah,
future.
but she needs to rest, not to tell you information.
We're gonna have a conversation.
I kind of look at Elwin and I'm like, if there's a lull in the conversation, I'll bring that out and I shoo him out of the room.
Okay. All right. Are the rest of you guys going, or are any guys trying to stay with Kildrak?
Whatever. I'll go.
Okay. Kildrak, she's gonna want to hear some stories from you. So you have a little bit of time to think about a story, and then you have to tell it to her.
I'm gonna need some write some stuff down.
Okay. All right. The rest of you guys start walking down the spire. This is a very tall spire, and so you're circling your way down the stairs. It's gonna take you a while. But eventually you make it down to the bottom, and as you approach the bottom, the doors open up, and on either side you see two guards in gleaming white armor. It's like they open the doors for you, and they bow. Just, Our Lady informed us of your arrival. Welcome. Would you care to see the
I'm gonna
Queen?
get out a cloth and start polishing their armor.
Your cloth is actually dirtying their armor as you polish, because their armor is cleaner than your cloth is.
Well, I usually live in the Underdark, so yeah.
Yeah. He says, "I'd appreciate you not smudge my armor, but thank you. I suppose."
I'll cast
I
prestidigitation on it.
I do
And
it
clean it.
first.
Okay.
I'm standing there. I know the spell.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Please come this way.
Yeah, where's the queen?
All right. So guys are going across the courtyard. It's quite a large castle, and all around, mulling around, you see various attendants and nobles and courtiers. You do draw some looks. You guys are a pretty, ragamuffin-looking group. So it's
So before we get there, though,
Yeah.
can I ask him about the captain that tried to stop us?
which captain do you speak of, lady?
What was his name? I don't remember.
Jorgen.
Yeah, I say Jorgen. Do you guys know any captain by that name?
Ah, yes, Captain Jorgen, over on the west side. He's a bit of a fuddy-duddy. A noble and certainly a man of integrity and honor, but he sometimes takes his business a bit too seriously for some. But he is trustworthy, if that is what you're asking.
Can someone send him a letter telling him that, he fucked up?
I think Deimos fucked up first though, so not necessary.
Davis always fucks up, though, so, I get tired of, him.
Yes, 'tis not my place. I am just a temple guard, a castle guardsman. In fact, one of the princess's personal attendants. If you'd require some disciplinary action or then you would best be appealing to Owain Brazen. He is the high commander of our armed forces, and I believe, if what the princess tells me is accurate, that you may have met him before. Owain Brazen was the
Alright.
Dragonborn general um, uh, that was part of King Caelim's war council.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you guys walk for a little while. Is there any other questions you have for the guard? No? All right.
I ask him, where can I get some good pipe weed?
He says, I believe they would certainly have some in the merchant's quarter or in our markets. If there is a specific varietal varietal that you are looking for, I might be able to put a request in with the servant and attendants here. If there's any within the castle grounds.
Whatever the best kind is.
I shall put an ask in. Okay. About this time, you guys are approaching like an internal palisade. It's again luxurious. It's brilliant. It's gleaming with white and silver. There's tall spires everywhere. Inside, you see other guards dressed much like this. The two that are walking along with you. Their helms are glistening, and they have like metal wing-like protrusions on either side. Their capes are white. Their armor is white, and this is definitely the elite and the very ornate-looking like palace guard. They all do move with competency. You assume that they are probably the most capable warriors within the city. Bing. Did I bing to anyone else?
Sometimes when you end a sentence, you kind of go like an echoing sound.
I don't know.
You were breaking up. I didn't hear you.
I don't know. Maybe it's a connection thing. I don't know. Discord is a little weird. It's less reliable than I wish it were. Maybe we'll go back to
Yeah.
TeamSpeak.
I think it's getting better.
That's why they call it
but
Discord.
Well, maybe we'll try TeamSpeak if we keep having problems with this. Anyway, okay. So you guys approach the palace. As you enter, there's the concentration of people is much more, and you can see that there's actually a crowd of common folk and other like nobles and stuff all kind of gathered around and inside this larger palisade that's there, and kind of off on a dais on a large gleaming white throne. There's two thrones next to each other, but only one of them is occupied, and it's the smaller one. And that's where you see, off in the distance, Falza Brightlord seated. Okay. Here, Killjack. It's in the... Just go to the maps and images. It's called... You should be able to access it. It's called Tandesh.
Yeah, when I click on it, it's super zoomed in.
Oh.
So it's really weird.
Weird.
And zoom out.
Here. Did that work?
Writing stories, yeah.
Okay.
I've had my cell phone since we came out of the
Yes.
And I was not here when you went over where most of the area was, but dwarves are from Cragland.
Yes.
Mistrala is
The magic.
Mistrala is the magic place. Okay, I can work with it.
Okay. The guard turns to you and says, "As you can see, the queen is holding court. Every day for a number of hours she does hear complaints and requests from the people within the city, noble and peasant alike. But however, since you come for the princess, I will make sure you are at the front of the line." Okay? So he ushers you over to the front. A couple of the grumbling of the commoners and people that see you cutting it ahead, they kind of give you dirty looks, but you do work your way to the front. They met you at a smuggler's bar somewhere on the near the coast of Waterdeep.
Okay.
All
I
right.
thought it was on the coast of the pirate land. You were technically
Yeah, you were further north.
Yeah.
You were off in the shoals of Waterdeep somewhere, some smuggler's cove. All right. So you guys are approaching.
That couldn't
There's
sail, that was hired as a sailor.
yeah.
That was not my fault. We're blaming Deimos for that one. I said I had been on
What
ships.
happened?
I never said I was a sailor.
It's your fault.
All right.
Deimos doesn't. He's terrible at that.
You guys are in the
You?
middle of the court of Erlen, you're inside the palace, and you're surrounded by like hundreds of people. And the guard issues you to the front. And as you approach, you can hear the person who's currently addressing the queen drone on about. Actually, as you approach, you hear his voice is actually kind of raised, and he seems to be talking aggressively. And as you get closer, you hear him complaining about the unrest in the city and how the peasant population within the old town has become unruly and have begun to make demands. The shortage of food and water is becoming worrisome, and you say you hear this. This is kind of what they're talking about. The queen nods and makes and gestures and ushers a couple words of acknowledgement, and the man kind of turns and kind of like still a little bit upset, walks off back towards the back of the room. All right, and then the guard kind of points your way forward and says, "Well, it's your turn. Would you care to step forward and address Falza Brightlord, Queen of Erlen?"
Yeah, I'm gonna step forward. I step or a shot.
You step forward into this large throne room, or this large courtroom, and every eye is on you. The clacking of your boots hitting the cold stone kind of reverberates off the walls, and you step forward.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pronounce my name. You know, it's me, Euphemia, Lucius Bellastrade, and I returned.
There's a gasp through the crowd. You hear murmurs and people turning and looking at each other, and hear someone are saying, "It is her. Look at her. She died."
I'm gonna grab Deimos so he doesn't suplex anyone, like put my hand on his shoulder.
Okay.
Did anyone say I wasn't Deimos?
The queen.
Everyone.
The queen kind of turns to you and she looks at you. This is Falza Brightlord. She is an Amazon, so she's tall, and for a human, she's tall. She's probably at least 6'1" or 6'2". Dark raven black hair like her daughter. She's definitely attractive, but it's like a warrior type attractiveness. There are hard edges to her face, and the draping kind of like dressed like robes that are over her. They reveal her arms, and her arms are lean and chiseled. As before, and as with you guys did go venture to the island of the Amazons back in your previous journeys, and as you realize that it was their culture, as is their culture, they remove the right breast of all the ladies, all the warriors in that culture. So she has a single breast removed, and it's the right side so that they can draw a bow without any kind of interference, and quickly and accurately. So this is and she's let's see, she'd probably be in her 50s, but she is yes, Kildrak. But she's very noble looking, and she stands, and as you enter, she rises to her feet, and the crowd goes silent, and she says, "Not a name I would have expected to hear ever again. Euphemia, priestess of Elistre. What have you to say? By what miracle do you appear before us now, you who died so many years ago alongside my husband?"
Illustrate brought us back, though we have lost a few more since then. Deimos, Ashok, and me are the last ones that are left.
And you have brought companions with you, I see.
Yeah, but they're not very useful.
There's a cat.
Oh, yeah, the cat's really cool.
She's a god.
Having
Stick
been
to that story.
insulted by another drow, I turn around and walk away.
All right, you're walking out of the room.
Yep.
Jeez, I can't have any.
The guard who accompanied you, he's going to put his arm on your shoulder and says, "Where are you going, friend? 'Tis disrespect to turn your back on the queen."
I tell him, I have no disrespect for her. I have disrespect for a companion that cannot respect her allies.
He's going to say, "Perhaps so, perhaps not. But take care of what you do."
Noticing this, I'm gonna step back where Feldorn is, and kind of reassure him, give you a nod, and I'll stand towards the back of the group with Keldor.
Well, I'll turn around then at that point and just stand against the wall with Elwyn.
Okay.
I was just joking. If we can take that back. Jeez. I didn't think you were going to cry over that. So some of the shit you guys done.
Nobody's crying.
You're crying, like, really badly. I mean...
Remember,
Jesus, crying.
that doesn't really know you guys. He takes that as an insult. Balinar would have just took it with stride. Feldorn barely knows you guys.
The queen is going to turn to you all and say, "Is this the best that you have to offer? I would have expected more from Kalim's resurrected companions, but I suppose it is what we have. Please, maintain
Well, we've
civility
already
within my
saved one
close range."
kingdom.
Oh?
And we took out the pirate lords as well.
Of Borthol? Was that you? Was that your handiwork?
Mostly.
I see. Well, it seems we have much catching up to do. Tell me, standing before my court, my nobles, my warriors, and my generals and advisors, what do you come here for?
Well, we were told that your city was in trouble, so we were going to help.
Indeed it is. Arriving here, I'm sure you saw the undead horde that surrounds our nation. For this is indeed all that remains of our nation.
As closest of a look as I could get.
What do you offer? What are you capable of doing? Do you seek to deliver us? Do you seek to...
Had we thought that far ahead? I'm not sure. Now what?
Truth.
What was her question?
wants
She
to
asked
know-
us what we.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
How are we going to help?
I speak up and I say, we brought supplies to help you stand for a few days. And as I've told your guards, we are willing to risk our lives to help defend this city against those undead standing outside. And I kind of bow slightly and I apologize. I go, I meant no disrespect when I turned my back to you. I just don't appreciate being insulted by those I thought I called friends. And I say, I am a warlock.
Can't we just take that back? God.
I say I am a warlock of some power. I do not claim to be all powerful, though I wish to one day become. I will offer whatever magics and spells I can cast to aid you and your nation. And then I look around and wait to see if any of my other allies speak up.
I'll say, I stand I stand with Feldorn. Whatever aid I can give you, I will. We heard that there's a lich, an undead spellcaster that leads this group. I'm thinking if he is defeated, that would signify victory.
If the zombies are below the wall, couldn't you get free shooting on them? Like, couldn't you be casting spells?
Magic barrier.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. As you guys speak up, um, the queen.
Did you guys hear me? I don't know if I was muted.
Yeah, no, we heard you. We heard you. Yeah. As you guys speak up, as Elwyn and Feldorn speak up, and Euphemia presents her case, the queen reaches down, and you see leaned up against her throne. On one side is a great sword, and the other side is a longbow. They're both leaned up against her throne, and they look like mighty weapons. She reaches to the great sword, and she hefts it easily into the air, and shining and glimmering in the light of the room. She holds it up and she says, "A charge worthy of my dead king's companions. Very well. People, followers, citizens of Ospium, you have seen today a miracle in our land. Truly the gods have brought us allies. There is hope yet for our dying city." And she waves it and she flashes it in the air. She says, "I apologize for not hearing your requests and your arguments today, but court is now over. Please return tomorrow, and I will hear you then." You hear some mumbling in the crowd, and the guards start to show people out of the room. And she says, Come, friends. We have much to discuss." Okay? So she beckons you to come with her, and she sets down her weapon, and she starts walking off. She gestures off to one of the rooms in adjoining the that larger palisade that you're in. A couple of the guards stay, and nope, she recognized you, Euphemia. If you hadn't put on the disguise self, there would have been tests. But she recognized your face. So you guys all kind of follow along, and you start walking through down the palace hallway, and it ventures out. You guys are walking down a long hallway. There's rooms on either side, different kinds of rooms, all sorts of things that you would expect in a palace, art galleries, and there's ornate tapestries. Eventually you head out into an open, sprawling garden that kind of like overlooks a large part of the city. And she says, "This is Ospium. 'Tis not my homeland. No, indeed, I wish I were back on my island. However, in memory and for the love of my king, I remain here. I don't know what you intend to do or how you might help us specifically, but there are a number of concerns that do beset us. You did mention striking out after that horrid lich that has destroyed our nation. If you could find him and slay him, that would be wondrous. But he has resisted all of our attempts. And in fact, right now, we know not where he is. We have not seen him for a number of months. However, his horde remains. The masses of undead. In fact, most of them are our own people. Slain and resurrected. And turned against us. You see that they surround our city. And I take it you've met my daughter. She's the only thing that keeps us and preserves us right now, and I praise the gods for her daily. Tell me, Would you care to venture beyond our walls, or would you care to aid us within our walls? There are great needs
We
on both sides of the barrier.
we've been told that you need help on the inside more than the outside.
'Tis true. However, whatever, and I will accept your assistance in any area, in any way you choose to offer it. Help on the interior will be but patchwork. Our city is dying. We cannot be holed up here for much longer. But I fear that venturing out beyond the walls would be perhaps a waste of life. There have been many that have gone out, and few have returned. My son being the most recent.
It's best if we probably do both. If there's a way we can come up with a plan to find this lich, but in the meantime help the inside of the city.
Very well. Within Ospium, there is an uneasy balance of power. I, of course, am queen, but many see me as just a figurehead. There are great houses and ancient families of nobility that reject my claim to the throne. They see me as an outsider. They see me as Kalim's whore, just brought in and lording myself over their pure bloodlines. And she shakes her head. Um, if you could find
Smash
some way to ease the tension between nobility and the royal family, that would be of great aid. On the other hand, within the religious sector in our city, there is much turmoil. Ever since our god Pelor was slain, and the light from his high temple, and she points across the city, over in this direction here, and you see this gleaming spire, not really a spire, but like this large jutting temple structure. It's high and brilliant, golden.
Obelisk.
Yeah, kind of like an obelisk, but it's like multi-tiered and layered, and there's a lot of like interesting architectural features in it. It's not a plain obelisk. Off in the distance, ever since the lights from Pelor's temple went out, and the power that our clerics held has disappeared, there's been an uneasy tension, and indeed even bitterness and violence that has popped up as a cult or several underground cults, we know not the specifics, have sought to overthrow the worshippers of Pelor, claiming power in the old gods. And yeah, that's my daughter. Akelia is constantly tired, and her power is waning. I fear she will not be able to maintain the barrier for long. But if there is a way to strengthen her, or at least encourage her, I would appreciate that as well. So that's what's
How do
going
you
on.
think you do that?
She shakes her head. She says, I know not.
Is she the only person you know with the ability to maintain that shield?
Perhaps there is some knowledge within the ancient and distant land of Mistrala on how to maintain this barrier, but my daughter is by far and away the most powerful magic user within this city. Within this country for certain, even back then. Probably within our continent proper, but it is a large continent. Certainly within the resources at our disposal, she is what keeps us alive.
I think we should still cut the head off the snake.
Okay? So you guys can choose to spend some time aiding in the internal conflict. There would be benefit to that. There would be risk to that. Or you can try to gain information about breaching, like venturing out beyond the walls.
Is there any way we can like gather information to find out where the lich is?
She nods. She says, "You would do well to speak to my generals. Owain Brazen. Um, Here, I'll type it. He is a faithful supporter of mine, and his is the charge to maintain the peace and perhaps deliver us someday. You see, we are a closed system here. We are capable of growing and cultivating some food and provisions. However, it is not enough. For as long as we've been here, we've been surviving off foray trips out into the land. Once a week, a large contingent of soldiers and our finest warriors and magic users ventures forth. Heroes, our greatest and best, would venture out and seek out provisions and resources by which our city might thrive. And for the first couple of years, we were quite successful. They would cut a swath through the undead horde and charge out and return with bountiful provisions and wagons and great caravans full of supplies. However, in recent history, recent months, those forays have become less successful, and in fact, a couple of our groups have not returned at all. The most recent being the one on which my son traveled, that he led. He was ambitious, Darius, much like his father. He had his father's fire within him, and he dared to travel east, far east, into the heart of the darkness where the invasion came from. For that is one of the only areas that we had not yet explored fully. And he has not returned.
How did your people get through the barrier force?
We have 4 great gates, and as she constructed the barrier spell, Ikelia created a way for us to relieve the field, the stasis field in that area around each of our gates. 'Tis temporary, and we can only lift it for a short amount of time. But we do have that capability to briefly open the barrier. But it must be at one of our gates.
So why didn't you use that ability to make like a teleporting circle and go to get supplies from distant lands?
She says, we had done some of that initially. And in fact, our first year of support, as we were still very much being overwhelmed with refugees, we received much aid from surrounding countries. But as the trouble and the darkness began to spread throughout Tandesh, those countries began to have problems of their own. And the communication and the flow of trade fell to a mere trickle and eventually was cut off almost completely. Okay. So you guys sit there for a little bit and think about what you want to do. I'm going to go back over to Killjack. Killjack, you've been sitting with the princess for a little while. She's kind of, as soon as the rest of the party left, she kind of reclined a little bit and she closed her eyes. And she says, "Well, fair dwarf, friend dwarf, I'd rather, tell me, regale me with a story of yours. What is going on in the world?"
This is out of character right now, but fair warning: why my character may have decent charisma, myself in real life does not. So I'm not very good at storytelling.
Okay.
So any ums that appear wouldn't actually appear if my character was talking.
Okay.
I'm telling these stories like I'm extremely drunk, but the only thing I'm drunk on is her beauty. And I'm trying to make her. I'm flirting a little bit. Anytime I can try to make her laugh, I attempt to, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So the first story I regale her with is actually she asked for news in the world. Specifically asked for.
Yeah,
Okay,
she wants to know what's going on in the world. You get the sense that her vision and her power is so focused within the barrier in the city that she doesn't have much knowledge of what's going on outside.
So I begin with with my adventures since I joined the party. So going after the Kraken, which I actually wasn't there for, like I didn't do that, but going after the Kraken and then the
You were there.
war over the Black. I was there for the beginning and the whatever the tic-tac-toe game, that was me.
Yeah,
but
yeah. For the
when you
game,
actually
okay.
guys when you actually faced the Kraken, I was busy doing college stuff.
Gotcha.
So, but I tell her about that, and then I talk about, my brave deeds on the high seas, fighting the pirates and the Black Powder.
Okay.
Then I move on to meeting Modrin in the dungeon crawl that we had.
Cool.
And when I talk about my familiar dying, I get a little emotional. But and then let's see here. I as soon as I get to the end, I show her the mall. I don't demonstrate its powers in the room, but I show her it, and I also show her the ruin.
The rune, the Ild rune.
I show her it, and I'm waiting for a reaction at this point.
Okay. As you pull out the Maul of Tremors, she opens her eyes up and she looks at it, and she says, "Ah, marvelous." And she reaches out and she touches the surface of the hammer, and she says, "Truly a wonder of craftsmanship. She says, I have not seen quite such a powerful legacy weapon. Perhaps only my mother's sword and bow would rival the power that's held here. Wonderful. This is modeled after the power of a god, is it not? Modrin, you say?"
Yes. Quick question. What was she, nodding intently or smiling at the rest of my stories? And
Yeah, she was.
or do
she was,
I need a performance check?
Okay, roll performance. Just see how much she's revealed.
Does my new dwarf feature count in this performance check?
What's your dwarf feature?
Dwarves should get advantage on performance checks relating to storytelling because they are such good storytellers.
Is that a
When
real thing?
intoxicated. No, I want it to be. I think it should be a real thing, though.
Roll
Just-
a bullshit dice.
Just roll performance.
Dang it. Fuck yes! Please let that count for the whole time.
She is enraptured by her stories. Now she's resting her eyes and she's leaning back, but you can tell she's kind of like hanging on every word. She's not been.
At the funny part, she smiles a little bit.
Yeah. And she seems legitimately impressed at some of the grand adventures you had, and as you talk about the great dangers and the horrible monsters you fought, and the credible magics and foes that you've seen. She's definitely with you every step of the way, hanging on every word. So,
Not being targeted.
Deimos is trying to punch you.
My intentions are strictly honorable. Now, marriage is an honorable intention, so.
He's trying to. Deimos is like trying to beat the crap out of you, but Deimos isn't even in the room.
Nope.
Thank God.
Okay. So, she's very
It's
grateful.
not like I'm coming on to her. I am just telling her stories, but I'm flirting while doing it.
She says, I must admit, I've never had a friend who is a dwarf. You are marvelous at storytelling. She says,
When she mentioned Modron and, truly this is the power of a god, I kind of go off a little bit about, actually seeing Modron and what that was like as a dwarf paladin.
Yeah? So you geeked out about that?
Too
Okay.
much. I geek out a little bit, but not too much.
Okay, alright. So, so you guys spend all the time that you have talking back and forth. She knows quite a bit about dwarven, the dwarven pantheon. She's quite well read. So she's asking questions about the interactions between dwarven gods and some of the histories, and you're well versed in a lot of this stuff. So you guys have quite the engaging conversation, and time flies. You actually don't know how long you've been speaking with her, but it's been actually an enjoyable time for both of you as you sit there and you basically keep her company throughout this time.
If we need more stories, I got some written down. So
Okay, cool. Well, you're good for now.
And I guess if we need a next story, I'll talk about my time learning how to use the Ildruin.
Cool. All right. So, as you guys are doing that, so we'll go back to the rest of you who are standing with the queen, at a palace balcony overlooking much of the city. All right. The queen turns to you and says, "So where would you like to start? There is much to be done."
Was there any connection to the cult and the undead army?
She says, "If there were, I do not know how that could be the case. There is no breaching the barrier without approval by one of my captains. So,
What if one of the demons was already in the barrier when it went up?
she says, I suppose that would be possible. Perhaps so. But they would have been hiding for quite a number of years now. I wouldn't put it past them. There are a number of old magics and powers within this city that even I have very little understanding of."
Would you say
cults
that's
and followers?
Would you say that's a high priority issue, the cult?
She says, honestly, you see, and now she's now that you guys are alone with her, she seems a little bit weary. Also, she says, it would be, as would all of these issues.
Well, what do you think is the most
unrest
important?
grows.
We are here to help you.
If it were me, my heart goes out to my son.
That's what I said.
But
Okay,
come,
then I think that's what we should do.
I would be most grateful. Come, spend the night here in our palace. On the morrow, I will call in one of my generals, and he will inform you of the topography of our land and our best information on where my son was heading.
Sounds good.
That is Caleb's son, right?
Yes,
Oh, see question.
yes. Darius.
Okay.
Okay.
Then that's what I vote for.
Alright. Okay, so you guys kind of settle in. They show you to a nice area in the palace. It's evening now, right around dinner time. You guys are fed very well. Yeah, are you guys going to leave Killdrack up in the
I'm
tower?
gonna
Or
dimensional door into next to Killdrack, and I'm gonna throw him out the tower.
it's
Oh,
way
yeah.
more than 500 feet away, so you'd have to...
Yeah, we wouldn't. But I'm just saying, Deimos would check in.
Okay,
At
okay,
point.
so
Let's see,
Killdrack,
roll a perception check to see if he even remembers that Kildrak isn't there.
I'm still gonna follow him. I'm still gonna go up there.
So Kildrak.
Once I get to
Go on, go on.
once I get to my room, I'm gonna roll my daily book. See what I find.
Okay. Um, let's see. So you've gotten past the introduction, and you're deep in the histories now. You come across a couple of ancient dragon names, tales of the most powerful of these mythic beasts, kings amongst dragonkind, and you're reading, you basically settle in on one story. Um, it's a story. Let me see it real quick. Okay. It's a story of Nebularos, one of the great kings of the dragons of the air. Or at least, wait, let's see, the dragons of the air. That would be the. Let me see what. One second here. I'm forgetting my dragon colors. Okay. The silver dragons. Nebularos, king of the silver dragons. And this is an ancient story about how he came to power and of the great deeds and the mighty tasks that he won, finding favor in the eyes of Bahamut and becoming basically Bahamut's progenitor and scion on the material plane. So the story that you're able to work through is basically like a mythic tale about Nebularos, king of the silver dragons.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
All right. Okay, so the rest of you guys, are you going up to? You walk in and you find Kildrak, and the princess kind of laughing and having a good time. There somehow a bottle of wine had made its way to where they
What?
were.
What was that? Huh?
No wine. No wine. I don't know if drinking here
Where's the
age here
wine,
is
right?
in Ospium, but there's no wine.
Uncle Bad Touch might have to come in.
I kind of would have shut down the idea if she had brought it. She
Okay.
brought it up.
Okay, a servant had brought it up, but you guys hadn't touched it then.
Put it that an unopened bottle of wine.
Okay, an unopened bottle of wine.
Glaring at Kildrak, I'm still gonna go to her bed and sit down and start singing a song using my lute or my lyre.
Cool.
That's it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick my arm around Kildrak and start singing him a song about all of her ex-boyfriends and what happened to him. Great tales.
Weren't you dead for 3 years? I'm not saying this in character, but weren't you dead for 3 years?
Yep.
I didn't say that in character, but I was just curious.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, a princess like her would have tons of, suitors
Suitors,
that would
yeah.
probably
No,
get their asses
because she's been holding the shield for 3 years.
Before that, we've been older than that.
But
Hey,
she was
Euphemia.
And she's a
she's
princess.
16 now. She was 13 when
she was 16 then. She's 19
Yeah,
now.
but...
18 now. Oh, never
even
mind. Yeah,
still,
she's had.
princess would have still had, like, many suitors, arranged marriages and
Yes,
shit.
yes.
Yeah, probably.
That Deimos would have still beat up.
Hey, Euphemia.
True.
What?
Do you remember correctly? Can dwarfs fly?
I think you should test that, because I'm
Hey,
not sure.
Kildrak, can you fly?
Okay. I'm gonna attempt a persuasion check here, and to say that I didn't even open a bottle of wine. I'm a dwarf. I turned down
I'm
alcohol
going
just
to
because
give
I wanted.
Deimos inspiration.
Well, I mean, this is what Deimos is thinking. When as soon as the guy starts saying, "Hey, I didn't even try to get her drunk," I'll be like, "Whoa, bro."
I don't even say that. I'm just gonna say no. I don't fly.
1 second. All right. Deimos actually remembers that dwarfs don't fly.
God.
Feldorn attempts to persuade him that dwarves do.
All right,
Bad.
I'm listening.
You gotta beat
I'm
a 16 with your
listening.
persuasion.
Silence spell, just so I can silence Feldorn. Oh shit!
I've got to see it. I asked Deimos. I begged Deimos. I need to see the dwarf fly.
I can my 20 on performance still be active at this point?
No.
God.
Okay, so that's with your advantage.
I have to get a natural 20 to persuade him. I have to get a natural 20 to
I have him over my head.
natural 20 to convince him I don't fly.
Deimos is still listening as he's walking towards the window.
If I was there, I would help you.
So what do you
I'm
do?
gonna just roll it.
So he picks you up.
Oh, that's not
He
gonna
kind of
work.
throws you over his shoulder, Killdrag, and he starts hauling, bringing you over towards the edge of the balcony.
At this point, I just look at the princess and I'm kind of, scared for my life here because it's just one fucking tall tower.
Sad dwarf face.
Kind of sad dwarf face. As much sad dwarf face can get.
Okay.
I would cast slow fall.
My performance check is still active for her.
Okay.
All right, you did cast slow fall on him, right?
Yeah, right before you throw him, I'll cast it.
All right, and I believe this has happened many a times, of when I always pick up the boyfriend of the princess and throw him out the window. And
Okay.
Euphemia has learned that casting slow fall then works a whole lot better. For legal purposes, I am going to throw Kildrak out of the window.
Roll me athletics.
Can a princess get a word in here since I looked at her?
She's seen this happen like 100 times.
We're her guardians.
But-
Yeah, she knows that this is gonna happen no matter what.
You want to contest it? You want to contest it, bro?
Don't want to contest it. I just want the. But am I different? I think I was a different type of boyfriend.
You.
I'm not even a boyfriend. I'm just a friend.
So-
What did
so-
you say? As I
Swallow
throw
that
you.
foot.
Out loud. I did not say that out loud.
So Deimos, you chuck him like full on, like shot put him out the this large balcony like opening, and at the same time Euphemia casts a slow fall on him. So like his vertical descent is rapidly slowed, but the horizontal inertia is like huge. So
I'll levitate.
you're doing levitate instead.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna slowly bring him down.
Okay, yeah. So his descent is really slow, but so he actually covers quite a bit of distance. We're talking like, so if you guys are on the map, you toss him out the
Is it
window.
possible?
For what?
Is it possible to like slow him a little bit, then make him fall really fast and slow it down, then fall really fast?
Possible. I make it all the way to the other side of the wall.
Yeah, you with Deimos rolled a natural 20, so
I
you're
give
floating.
Euphemia a high
Think of
five.
it,
For
you
a
said it was a
long
couple
time.
miles long.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can throw miles.
Deimos can now.
At least we can go right in the river.
Yeah,
I say right
actually,
in the river.
actually, no. Euphemia and Deimos have a game of seeing how far we can throw the boyfriends, and it's over the river, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you land somewhere in this district out here, Kodak. But you start heading in that direction. So you go tossed like at rapid velocity as Deimos just like spins and hurls you out. The slow fall keeps you from falling. You just start descending slowly, but your horizontal speed is quite rapid, and you go flinging out like dwarf Superman, like a dwarf bullet. All right, so you go. So Deimos, you and Euphemia, you toss him out, and it's like he rapidly
At
disappears.
this point, I'm just gonna start doing tricks in the air for the
Yeah.
hell of it.
And like out of your vision, he's like he's gone. He becomes like a specter.
Fuck yes!
We are never gonna get the next 20s for any fights.
Yeah, no, we just used them all up.
So
RP.
Killdrake, you look at
Give
me
a
like,
shit. This is where. I mean, if I'm going this long, I assume that they leave, and then the princess can look out the window, and I'm still performing for her as I'm falling.
you're flying.
I'm literally thrown that far.
You're like doing pirouettes and like your graceful dwarf dives. You look like an Olympic diver doing like spins and twirls in the air as you go flying across. Um, the yeah. It's late in the sky,
Princess, though. I don't moon the princess.
so there's actually like some as the setting sun colors the sky with oranges and red pigments. The crescent moon is visible as well up in the sky. You make a very interesting. It makes a beautiful backdrop to your silhouette as you fly across, doing all these spins and pirouettes. You actually draw little crowds underneath you as you move across, and you're slowing down. So by the time you get to like across the river, you're not moving very fast across horizontally anymore. So it's like people can stand there and watch you as you do like this magical air performance. Yeah, it's majestic as fuck.
Can I like remove the spell right before he goes over or right when he goes over the river?
I don't think that it works that way. Let me see. Is levitate? Is that what you cast? Levitate?
It's concentration.
Oh, if it's concentration, then yeah, you can release it anytime. So you want to release it when you
Yeah,
get
it's
over the
concentration
river?
up to 10 minutes.
Well, don't
So right when
miss.
he gets over the river.
Okay. It takes him about 5 minutes to get over the river. As he gets over the river, you're gonna release it.
Yes.
Okay.
The walls, am I?
No, she releases you over here, over the river.
That's
And-
a river. I thought that was a road.
Is it a road?
That's a river.
River.
There's
But I
bridges
thought it
going
was a
over it.
road. Yeah, I thought it was a road at
Yeah, it's
first.
a river. She releases you, and you start falling very rapidly. You still look like super majestic and graceful. And
There's a river before me, below me.
yeah, below you.
The most acrobatic, multi-level flip I can and land in a perfect no splash dive since I have the performance.
As you gracefully hit the water kind of like it feels like you're landing in not like cold shocking water, but you're landing in a bunch of like clouds and feathers, and it's very soft and actually very very comfortable. All the inertia of your landing is gone. You just like land in like the softest bed that you've ever felt before. And you open your eyes and you're indoors. You're inside a room. You actually are physically lying down in a bed somewhere.
Oh, shit. Make a single noise. But I want to roll a perception check to see if I can figure out where I am.
Okay. Roll it.
I think it is. I am the happiest dwarf alive.
Okay. You look around and you listen. You're not very perceptive at the moment. You're just kind of in shock at what happened. But you do look around and you see the decorations on the wall are kind of, not quite cheesy or anything like that, but they seem like over the top. Let's just say over the top decorations around. But you are inside like a single person hotel room. It's a very soft bed. And it's kind of dark, so you can't see much more than what you're
Okay,
seeing.
so it doesn't look like a princess quarters?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm listening, though, for things, but I don't make a single sound.
Okay. All right. The rest of you guys, you see Killdrake drop off, and it looks, for all intents and purposes that you can see, it looks like he hits the water. But as soon as he drops out of view, you hear Akelia just start giggling off in the corner.
I'm gonna go back to playing my lyre.
Okay. All right.
After the high five.
All right. So what do the rest of you guys want to do now?
I tell her about the birds and the bees. and how dwarfs are not bees or birds.
Yes, Euphemia, I did. You can. You're welcome to ask her. Okay. Um,
Speak.
Ashok, Elwyn, and Feldorn. Is there anything that you guys wanted to do?
Feldorn's just sitting there laughing his ass out.
I'm in my room studying the book and then going to sleep.
Okay. Ashok, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna continue to wait.
Well, the night goes on. You guys all hang out there, and as the evening starts to come around, Akelia kind of turns to you all again, and she says, "Well, it's been a marvelous day. I must say I've not been quite so distracted and entertained as this in quite a while. I truly do appreciate you spending time with me." She says, and she's looking at you specifically, like Deimos and Euphemia and Ashok. She recognizes you, and she does recall stories of you, and she's met you before, and so there is a little bit of a kinship and a family feeling there. She says, "But I'm afraid I must retire. The night is old, and tomorrow is another long day of concentration." So
You cut out there.
she says the night is getting dark, and she has another long day of concentration tomorrow. So she says she's gonna go retire.
Deimos says he's going to stand guard.
Okay, so you're gonna stand a guard
Ed.
outside her
Mm-mm.
room.
Mm-mm. He's
Okay.
going to stand guard inside the room.
You better say no. She better. She's a
She
19-year-old girl.
She shuts you out of her room. She says you can stand outside her door.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue with a 19-year-old girl. I'm going to stand outside.
Okay. So the rest of you guys are, unless you want to do something else, you have your own individual rooms to go to. Kildrak, you found out that you are after like getting up. Okay, so after a few minutes lying in this comfy bed, you listen some more, and you hear sounds through the walls, muffled sounds through the walls. It sounds a lot like people getting it on, but it's like on the right side and on the left side. So there's like lots of
Hey,
different
at this
sounds
point, I realize I'm not
place.
in the princess's room like I thought I was. Thought my night was going to get a lot better. But I walk towards the door and I slowly open it, looking outside.
Okay. And you open the door and you look outside, and you walk and you see a kind of young dwarf female kind of approaching your door anyway. And as the door cracks open, you see a big beaming smile across her face, and as the door opens up some more, you see that she's actually kind of dressed pretty scantily. She has pretty like thick makeup on, and she's all dolled up and done up. She's a dwarf female, and she says, "Why, hello! Looks like I got myself a customer. And what a fine, strapping man you are."
Hello. Thank you very much.
Care to go for a spin, sweetie?
I kind of look at her and I say, "No, not tonight. Where in the city am I?"
Oh. And she points, let's see, you guys are... you are here. Right there. At, Kalita's Favor. It's a whorehouse.
Or 11.
11.
Merchant Quarter. Trying to find.
Right down where the circle is. I drew the circle. Right on the edge of the river. There.
Is there any check I can roll to figure out how I got in that bed? Because, like I said, I originally thought I was in the princess's bed and she transported me there. But
You were falling down into the river, and the princess teleported you into the middle of a whorehouse.
bit offended at that, but
She should
I'm
have
really
looked around.
offended at. I said thank you very much. I throw her a couple of gold pieces, and I back towards the castle.
She says, "Oh, sweetie, for a couple of gold pieces, you can buy yourself a lot more than just me for the night."
The information. Thank you very much, and I'll walk out of there.
Okay. All right. So you head out and you end up passing through, and it's a full-on whorehouse. There's lots of displays and lots of closed rooms, and there's lots of so she was a dwarf, but most of the other ladies there are humans, and you see a couple of other races. But you kind of like scamper out of that place, and you find yourself on the other side of the merchant quarter, and it's getting fairly late. It's like 7 p.m. at night.
I mean, just walking can constitute as a long rest, right?
No, no, no. You got it. You're gonna have to. It'll take you probably walking through the thicker part of this stuff about an hour to get back to the castle. Maybe an hour and a half.
It is it.
But what?
What time of night is it? My bad.
About 7 p.m.
Make that walk to the castle.
Okay, so you start heading back. All right, the rest of you guys, I think you said you were all turning in.
Actually, if it's
Well, I
only
was exploring the castle.
Go on.
as I say, if it's only 7 p.m., I kind of stroll outside and walk around the marketplace, or the market square, taking stock of what I see.
Okay.
Do I find anything interesting in the castle, like old paintings or weapons? Like
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah. This
Like on display?
this place is a wealth of history and um, and culture. So you find yourself looking at artifacts and sculptures and paintings describing many epic moments throughout the history of Tandesh. You see lots of things described, and it's actually quite fascinating.
Any chance that I can find any of our own gear?
Roll me investigation. Looking around thoroughly, you comb through it, through all the displays and stuff, even the decorative armor and pieces that are around the palace. They all seem, some of them actually seem like they have seen actual battle, but they're all artistic pieces. They're not functional weaponry, for the most part. So you do not find any pieces of gear that you recognize. Some of the more incredible things, like the spear of Triconus that he used to slay the king of the storm giants. It's a replica. It's not the actual spear. Stuff like that. All right. Feldorn, you're walking around town. You see lots of different kinds of markets and lots of different stores and shop fronts. Anything specific you're looking for?
I'm looking just to see what the shops have in stock, so I'm kind
Okay.
of just peeking in all the shops that I walk by just to see how well their stocks are. And
Yeah, you notice that there's lots of different storefronts, but the variety of the food stuffs, they strike you as odd. There's not much variety, and it seems like there's a lot of different kinds of, like they get creative with a basic set of ingredients that seems to be what everyone has. You see a basic kind of grain that seems to be like the only kind that they have prevalent, and everyone seems to be using. A certain set of certain vegetables are prominent. They seem to repeat throughout all the different kinds of meals and stores. So it seems like all the stores are trying to do different things with the same basic ingredients, if that makes sense.
okay, so it's basically what I thought. They don't have much to begin with.
Yeah, it's pretty limited.
Oh, at this time of night. Is there any magic shops that might be open?
At this hour of the night, you'd have to ask around and check.
And that's what I'm gonna do then.
Okay. After heading
Before,
around the city, go on. Deimos.
oh, I was gonna say, since I'm standing guard, um, outside this room, and I know Euphemia likes to go out shopping for expensive crap. I'm gonna give her my money bag, and I say, if you see something worthwhile, feel free to use my monies.
Okay, so you guys can see on the map that there's a legend, so it has different things labeled. The magic shop, and there's actually not really a full-on magic shop here. It's split up amongst a couple areas. Any kinds of weaponry or armor or anything to do with crafted metal and leather and wood and that kind of stuff would be at Selksar's Arms, which is number 19, which is kind of where you guys arrived. That's the full-on weapons depot. It's where all of the high masterwork craftsmen of Ospium have gathered their wares and coordinated their efforts basically there.
What about
Did
the
you say
runic
magic items?
Magic weaponry. Now, if you're looking for other things like wondrous items and stuff like that, you have to look elsewhere. And that would be
I wonder.
asking around the red room, all the way on the left, number 20. So right here. That's a kind of a mysterious place. It's kind of like an underground marketplace, where there's curios and all sorts of exotic items that might be found in the city. Some of it's
I think that's where I'd go.
there's definitely like a black market section, with like contraband and kind of like items of questionable legality, but there's areas that are on the up and up as well. Killjoy, you should. I don't think you ever got rid of it. Okay.
One of
Well,
the things I thought it might have been one of the things we sold to get Elwin his robes.
I don't know. If you don't have it anymore, if it's not in your inventory, then you got rid of it.
I have it.
You have the Wand of Wonder?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because you like wands.
Alright.
Did you want your wand back? You can have your wand back.
So
As far as an
Euphemia,
attunement spot, and I have so many things that are helping my AC and then my ild, I need to be attuned to that. So if
Okay.
attunement spot, I'd totally do it. I don't need
by this time in the day, most of the markets have begun to shut down. Euphemia, it's going to take you a while to get to the other side of town. So you're probably not going to be able to make it by reasonable hours to go shopping around.
Can she just have
Even the
Killdrag
black
throw
market,
her
wouldn't
out
they
the
be
window?
open at night?
Sorry. Can she just have Deimos throw her out a window?
Yeah, it's a lot faster that
She
way.
could try. She could try. How do you expect to
Can't
get
you
across town?
fly?
Well,
It'd
for
be,
one
it'd be
thing, I could
2
get
hours
across
on
town a
foot.
lot faster than anyone else.
It'd be 2 hours on foot.
I can get there in 10 minutes.
Okay.
How many dimension doors would I have to burn to get there?
How many times can you pass dimension
A
doors?
lot.
7.
That's 7 times 5, 3,500 feet. That's not even a mile.
Yeah, that doesn't save you much time. And can't you still fly?
I think that'd be a lot, but whatever.
A mile, like,
No,
like
I can't.
so,
I use
so
it.
3,500 feet. You'll get like that far.
Yeah, it's like a football field. That's about how far it throws you.
Okay.
And you're sure the black market wouldn't be open at night?
Well, you don't know. I mean, but you could ask around and see. It's just about it's after 7
I'm still
o'clock
gonna
at
go
night, so-
there.
So you start making your way across.
I'll go there. I'm not. I only need 4 hours of sleep, so.
So going deep into the night, you get there around 9 p.m. And you see that there are indeed a lot of different stalls and different corner shops and that kind of stuff all in this area. It's not one united building. It's just like all under this large red canopy. There are a few of them that still house people that people are still kind of like obviously mulling around in, but the they look like they're off in the shadier part of town, part of the area. So yeah.
Okay. So I can't, like, shop.
Okay, you want to go approach? Sure.
Yeah.
All right. You come up and you see kind of like a scraggly looking gnome. There's a big scar across his face that like kind of like bisects the bridge of his nose. And one of his eyes is cloudy, like he can't see out of it. And he's chewing on some kind of weed. And he spits out like a phlegmy green kind of liquid across the floor. He is. Why, hello there, love. You looking all nice and fine this evening. Tell me,
I'm just gonna glare at him.
what brings you to this here part of town?
I heard there was a black market in this area.
And who might be asking, says I.
No, I don't think you're asking. It's me that's asking.
Well, if you be asking, it would be me that would be doing the selling. If that's the case, then I want to know who I'd be selling to.
Someone with gold.
Let me see. What you got?
More money than you got.
No, she talks a big one, I say. Well then, let's see what kind of prices you can meet. What you looking for?
Not really sure. Just shopping. Show me something worth buying.
Okay. He pulls out a couple of crates. And inside them you see a bunch of random objects. They're not very well organized or anything like that. It's like literally stuff thrown into a box.
Rummage sale.
Yeah, rummage sale style. Right. So he pulls out a couple
Do
of them.
I sense anything with magic?
There are definitely some magic items in here. Most of them are pretty low level, like uncommon level items. Flipping through it, you find, let's see, a couple like wands of magic missile, and like wands of web. You see a couple of rings that look like they have enchantments on them, low level enchantments. A bunch of like random stuff. You find a brooch of shielding, a drift globe, stuff like that. Yes.
So
There.
all of it's just junk.
For most part. What you think of that stuff, huh?
What is it? What?
He says, what do you think of that stuff? Why don't you buy some
No,
of
I'm
it?
done with Deimos. Deimos, what is that?
Oh, before you left, now you took my money. I said if you saw one of these things, if you could pick it up for me, if it was at a reasonable price.
Yeah, but what is it?
It's like I think it's like a little necklace thing that just helps you not get sick from random crap.
Like poison or disease and stuff?
I think it's mainly diseases.
Do I find anything like that in that guy's trash bin?
Actually, you
Nope.
do.
Yeah, it's not that rare.
It's
It's
an
just a
uncommon
regular
item.
thing.
Yeah, you find it. It's kind of like covered in grime and like pretty dirty and smudged up, but it's in there. You find it. It's a
You don't
pure
even
edge
need
of
to
health.
have concentrate or the thing, whatever you call it.
Concentrated.
I'm just gonna go through this stuff. I'm gonna say like junk. And I'm just gonna throw it out of the box.
Okay. He doesn't seem too bothered.
Okay.
He's there, chewing on the little green like weed that he has in his mouth, and every once in a while he'll spit out green phlegm on the ground.
Okay. I'm gonna grab like 2 random shit and things and the pendant.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, I'll take these 3.
Okay.
And I'll give him 100 gold.
Very funny, lady. 1,000 gold. total for all three?
This this shit isn't worth that much.
Well,
But like, I'm gonna give you 100 gold for it.
I don't see anyone else here selling to you.
Because no one else will buy your junk.
Well, then bugger off then. You're taking up my precious time.
Give me a decent price then. How much for it?
So you're holding, so the two random objects you grabbed, one is this, and the other one is... Where is it? Where'd it go? It's a pouch full of metal balls, and it's actually like right there.
Okay, I just pick up the pendant. Nah, I don't want those two then. How much is just this?
That's fun. 500 gold.
That's way too much for it. Maybe 200 for it.
Well, then you're welcome to leave it on the box. And get the fuck out of my office.
Very good at the whole selling and customer service thing, are you?
Do it look like I care?
$300 then.
400 and you have a deal.
$350.
Sold. And he kind of slams his fist on the table.
I'll just take it out of my hold then.
I just toss him 300 and walk away, but I keep it in a pouch.
So not 350, just 300. Okay. So you walk away.
Yeah.
And you hear as you're walking off into
And
the
I dimension door.
Okay. As you teleport away, you can hear. Like a minute later, you hear screams and curses off in the distance. That's about it. All right. So I'll go ahead and throw that into the party inventory.
So only 300?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So by this time, it's later in the night. By the time you get back to the castle Euphemia, everyone else has gotten there. Killdrack, you've made your way back to the castle, and all of you are sort of centralized in your areas. Deimos, if you're staying up by the princess' quarters, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm just sitting outside the door.
Okay. The rest of you guys, are you staying in the area of the castle that they gave you?
Oh,
Yep.
Did we get rooms in the castle or outside of the castle?
In the castle.
Yeah, then that's where I'm staying.
So the night goes on. You all sort of fall asleep. Deimos, roll me a perception check. As the night rolls on, you kind of get tired. Okay, Killjack. As the night rolls on, you're kind of tired and you start nodding your head a little bit and dozing off. And at the edge of your consciousness, you swear you hear something. You're kind of seated outside her door right now. You swear you hear some kind of like maybe a soft footstep or maybe it was just a breeze cut through the area. You're not quite sure. But it's enough to kind of like bring you out of your slumber. Alright? And
Okay.
you open your eyes just in time.
See Feldorn sitting on his lap.
No, you open your eyes just in time. Let me see if I have the picture here. 1 second. Do I? Yeah, I do. All right. So you're sitting in like this outside the door, and so her door is up in the spire, her room is up in the spire, and there is a door, and she has windows that open to the outside and stuff. But it's like in an upper chamber from the balconied area that you guys met her in. So there's a staircase that goes up further, and you're at the doorway at the top of this staircase. All right, and you're kind of seated outside the door, and you open your eyes right away, and this is what you see, Deimos.
Oh, murder.
The
Murdered them
Ninja
all.
Turtles?
And a bunch of blades fly in your direction. Okay, so Deimos, I need you to roll
So
initiative.
where is this?
This is up in the princess's tower.
Is that close to where we're sleeping?
You guys are way down the staircase and across like the large courtyard
And we're asleep and we don't know what's going on.
right now. Yes. Okay. The rest of you guys, I need you to roll me a perception check as well.
The queen didn't tell us they had ninjas.
They don't. That's
Okay. Okay, good. So, Deimos, the first round, since you were definitely sleeping, they do get the drop on you. You're not necessarily surprised, but they beat you as far as initiative goes. All right.
I haven't heard you in a while.
You haven't heard me?
No, Kildrak.
Oh no,
I heard
Kildrak, I
Kildrak.
can't hear you.
He was talking about wanting to do something.
He was typing. Yeah, I never heard after that. Okay. Okay. So Deimos, the assassins this is nothing super complicated. You're sitting out here outside a doorway. You open your eyes and you see 3 assassins kind of standing right there in front of you. Okay. First one comes in.
Is this a map?
This is just so I can put the icons out here.
It's just a black screen to me.
Let it load for a little bit. It should come up. Okay, I cleared it, Feldorn.
Yeah, it's not really a map. It's just a blank page. There's no image to it. You feel me?
It took a second for it to load. Just load on mine.
It should just be the normal
Strange. That takes
parchment.
so long to load then.
It should just be a parchment. So Deimos, the 3 ninjas. This is one lashes at you with a short sword. He's gonna miss.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I have something that might actually affect the way this is going to work out. So can I tell you what it is?
What were you gonna do?
I was going to send my hawk in, sort of a scouting mission of the princess's tower to see if she had like any windows or something like that.
Were you trying to peep on her?
What were you
You're
What were you
lucky.
looking for,
Bad
Kildrak?
touch.
I was looking, for a window directly to her chamber that the hawk wouldn't have to go past Deimos to get into her room.
Okay. There is such a window. Oh, who's breathing into the mic?
It's me again. Sorry.
It's probably
I-
killed her
it-
because he's too freaking worked up.
That was funny.
That was a good one. But this, not having push to talk is terrible on the website.
So you do send your hawk out, and he does find this window on the exterior.
Okay, and then I'm wondering if he notices the ninjas. Roll perception.
Roll perception.
Okay, I think he has advantage because it's based on sight.
Correct.
Okay, and he has a +4.
So 7, 11. Okay. He
Yeah.
doesn't see anything. He hears the sounds of slashes and the thumps of crossbow bolts.
Okay. I assume he comes back and tells me as soon as possible, and at that moment I head up towards the tower.
Okay. So Deimos,
No, you wake people up.
that guy misses with his first attack. His second attack is going to come flying at you. He's going to miss. The second guy is going to shoot at you with a crossbow. Miss. Damn it. There we go. There's a hit. Okay. The crossbow bolt strikes you in the shoulder. You have to make a Constitution saving throw, which you fail, and you take poison damage.
Holy shit.
The third guy comes at you with his short sword. That's going to hit. And since the other guy had already closed the distance on you...
Oh, wait. Did that last guy who hit roll on disadvantage? I have my stupid cloak. I just remembered.
It's on? Alright, let me roll for him one more time with that crossbow attack. Nope, missed. Alright, so I'm going to clear that. The second guy who is attacking you here... So he would have hit the first time. Let me just roll one more time to see if he'll hit you. The third guy, actually. Would miss. Okay, and here's the last attack. Missed. Okay, so the moments of perception that you had, you open your eyes and you see all these arrows and swords come flying in your direction, and you just dive out of the way and just barely duck underneath as the double image that your cloak provides kind of gets skewered, but it's not where you were. Okay, so all these things pass right over your head. That's kind of the position that you went. It's your turn. What are you going to do?
Oof. All right. Well, first, I'm going to cast that on myself. I'm assuming I'm like straight in front of the door.
Yes, the door's right behind you.
All right. I'm going to stay right there, kind of guard the door. I'm going to swing at number 2.
Okay. That's a hit.
Oh, sorry. That's a hit. Sorry. I legged up a little bit.
Alright, so you swing and bust him in the face.
And that's all I can do because that was also my bonus action.
Okay. Alright, so as that's happening, Killjack, your falcon starts flying back in your direction. The rest of you guys, with your perception checks, let's see here.
As soon as it gets within 100 feet of me.
Feldorn and Ashok, I think you guys have the good rolls. Oh, yeah, Ashok didn't. Feldorn, who had a good roll? I think it's Elwyn then.
No, I got like a 4.
No?
Feldorn had a 21.
Yeah. So Feldorn, you kind of start out of your trance, and you hear fast movement and the clashing of blades down in your area of the palace, kind of off in the distance. Not from the tower, from somewhere else.
I wake up and go investigate.
Okay, so you pop out of your door and you start heading off in that direction. Are you going to do anything else? Are you going to grab anyone?
Yeah. Who would be the closest person to me?
Okay, probably Elwyn.
Yeah.
I bang on Elwyn's door and I start shouting, "Hey, looks like we're under attack."
I'll grab my staff and start heading out.
Okay, so Elwyn and Feldorn, you start heading off in that direction. Okay, so you guys are. So I'm going to split this map. So imagine there's 2 different maps going here.
Mhm.
Feldorn and Elwyn. Okay.
And also, as we're running, I touch my chest and cast a false life on myself.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Deimos, back to your fight, real quick. The one that you hit. Let's see. I'll start with him. With the other guy. So this is not the guy that you hit. This guy next to you, off to your left, is gonna come at you with his swords again. Let's see here. Okay. So even with the disadvantage.
Oh, sorry. What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, did he hit?
Yeah.
That should be a miss. I should be at 23.
You cast.
Did I not target myself?
Oh, you did. For some reason, it didn't register. That's weird. All right. Okay, so that'll miss. He's gonna come in again with his attack, and he'll miss. The one in the back now, seeing that you're like you're pretty hard to make out in the night, in the dim light, and your cloak is obviously causing problems, is going to reach into his pouch and grab a vial full of you're not quite sure what, and he's going to toss it in your general direction. So that's this guy number 1 back here. He's going to toss it in your general direction. It's going to crash. Let's see. It doesn't matter if it hits you or not, because it's going to crash against the door or against you. It doesn't matter if it hits, and the fluid flies out, and you can tell that it's like this flammable kind of alchemist's fire or something like that, and it coats this area here in flame. Okay. That's his turn. This other assassin is going to attack you now.
Did you see my chat message, Midas?
Go ahead and roll.
With advantage?
Yes, since you're awake, yeah.
You should still miss.
Yeah, it's a miss.
And Demos, make sure you have your armor equipped.
I don't know why that's not.
I do. It's just it's not reading the divine shield.
Yeah, the AC +2. It should be, but it's not.
You might have it might be something typed wrong there.
Maybe it looks pretty good. AC 2. Yeah, it should be working. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, so this is his second attack.
Alright.
That will hit.
And on that one, I will use a War God's Blessing to negate it.
Okay. Alright, so you burn your War God's Blessing. On your turn, though, you're going to take 6 points of fire damage from standing in this burning patch of ground.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to, I guess, swing at that guy who's hurt already.
Okay.
And then bonus action with that, I'm gonna take one of my gold pouches that I pulled away to the side, slam it against my fist, and then hit assassin number 2 with it.
Okay. Alright, so you blaze forward, your hand glowing, and the mega burst of damage that comes flying out of your hands right into the guy's face. Explodes across him, and you can see his face rippling with the impact. He's staggered backward. His face is a bloody mess. It's like a pulp right now. Alright. All the way across on the other side of the palace, what's going on in this end is pretty interesting, because you guys, as you're running down the hallway, you realize that there is some kind of like assassination attempt that's going on, because you're running. The sounds are coming from Thalza Bright Lord's kind of like area, if that makes sense. The place where her personal residence was. As you run across, stepping out from between 2 pillars, you see a couple of figures. Kind of like in this hallway that you're in. They just kind of step out in front of you and block your immediate path forward. All right. So Feldorn and Elwyn, I need you to roll me initiative. All right.
My perception check do anything, or was it too low? It was an 11.
You heard Feldorn and Elwyn come rushing by. Your door.
Okay. As they do that, I kind of.
Okay, so you pop your head out. So you're further back behind them. Go ahead and roll me initiatives as well. Okay. All right. So Feldorn, you see them stepping out in front of you. You react first. What are you gonna do? Feldorn?
Oh, sorry, I was pushing the wrong push the talk button. As my bonus action, I'm going to point out to number. I'm going to say number 1, and I'm going to spout out an abyssal. I'm going to say to him, I got to say, a curse upon your wisdom, may stupidity reign prevalent in your mind as I cast Hex.
Okay. It's your bonus action?
Yep, and then my regular action, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast on him.
Alright. As you raise your hand to trigger the spell, you can see his hand gesture in response, and he's going to cast Counterspell on your Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so he's going to waste it on a cantrip. That's fine by me.
Yep. The spell fizzles out and as you formulate it in your hand, and it just kind of like puffs, and nothing happens. Okay.
Okay.
Killjack, you're a full movement length behind them. What are you gonna do?
Oh, it takes my full movement to get level with Elwyn and Feldorn. Okay, I'm gonna move up to them. Bonus action, spend a 5th level spell slot to cast. Not a 5th level spell slot. Hold. Yeah, just a 1st level spell slot to cast Divine Favor, or not Divine Favor, to Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And then I'm going to lob a firebolt at them.
Okay, go ahead and target and roll it. So you're coming from back behind them. They don't necessarily see you coming up. You just kind of out of the darkness, you charge up, and you're casting a firebolt as it goes, so you get it off.
Yep.
You can't hear you no more. You trailed off.
Yeah, because I was whispering to myself.
That hits. Oh, wait. That doesn't hit. Sorry. They have their mage armor on. So their AC is actually a 15. I should change that. Okay, so it misses.
Did he have advantage from being sneaky?
Nah, he's a dwarf.
Hopes and dreams.
Okay. Anything else, Killjack? Okay. So then this mind sculptor here, he's gonna raise his staff, and a beam of wispy black energy comes like moving pretty quickly in your direction, Elwyn.
I'm gonna counterspell it.
Okay. This is an attack. It doesn't,
okay.
And you recognize this doesn't look like he's casting a spell. It's actually like a ranged blast of energy from the tip of his sword, his staff. It doesn't look like he's. You don't notice any verbal or somatic movements that you could counter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
So this is a ranged attack. Here it comes. It will miss you. Damn it. All right, your turn.
All right. So I'm gonna move here next to Feldorn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna point my frost dagger at him. And do you want me to make the cone? Because
No, it'll hit both.
I can.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you casting? Cone of Cold.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 second here. So the Cone of Cold is a 6th level spell or 5th level spell.
5th level.
5th. So this guy's gonna try to counterspell it.
Okay. It's from the dagger. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, you can still counterspell item spells.
Okay.
It's like they just give you the ability to cast it. So he has to make.
I'm gonna be a dick, and as he's counterspelling, I'm gonna counterspell his counterspell.
Okay. You cast it. What level you cast it at?
5th level is the only level I can cast at.
All right. So he raises his hand and tries to stop Elwyn, but you see that happening now, and you squelch his ability to do so.
And then I give him the buddy Jesus.
All right, roll the damages. All right. So a burst of cold flies through the air, and you see them engulfed and covered in this frost.
Okay, and then I'm going to spend a couple of sorcery points here.
Okay.
1 for twinning and 2 for quicken.
All right.
And as soon as they get hit by that frost, I'm going to hit each of them with a firebolt.
Okay. That's your bonus action, right?
Yep,
All right, roll it.
I got them.
There you go. Wow.
28 damage to each.
Okay, you see them rocked backwards, and there's definitely been heavy damage taken. Okay, I think it's your turn. This other guy, the guy on the left now, is going to raise his hands, and you see a very odd formulation. This is not necessarily a spell that you're familiar with, but you recognize the power of it as he casts prismatic spray across you guys.
I'm going to go ahead and try to counter that.
All right, so that's a charisma check. DC 17 charisma check.
Counter spell?
Okay, even though you don't recognize it, you're able to see the hand motions that he's generating with his somatic gestures, and you're able to pick up the patterns, and you weave the exact opposite of what he's doing, and it splits the air, and the energy he was summoning kind of like dissipates. All right, Ashok and Euphemia, but at this time, there's been enough movement out in the hallway that you guys are kind of roused. Euphemia, you're in your trance. You were at least a little bit more aware. So you and Ashok, you have the opportunity to do something. What do you want to do?
Did I get my rest?
No.
I want to run towards the noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up and grab my sword.
Kildrak, it'll be about 2 more
Grab my
rounds.
hat.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's in your mic.
Yes, I can hear you. All right. So you guys burst out of your rooms, and you grab your sword, and you guys are back here, and you start heading in their direction. All right. Back on the other side.
I'm gonna yell to can I yell to Helen?
Sure.
Tell him to go check on the prince.
You cut off. I couldn't hear you.
I'm gonna yell at you to go check on the princess. Use a teleport spell.
I don't have a
Okay.
7th level slot. Or
Yeah,
did I get
yeah.
my rest?
Nope.
Since I went to bed earlier than everyone?
No, you guys did not get a rest. It's too early in the
Okay.
evening. All right.
How far away are those guys?
They are 2 full movements ahead of you. You guys can dash to
What does
get
that
within
mean?
range. So
Can I cast Dimensional Door?
Yeah.
To get right behind them?
yeah.
Then I'll Dimensional Door right behind number 2.
Can you take me with you?
And I'll take Ashok with me.
All right. As you're moving, you do that. You guys zip across the room.
Number 2.
It's actually more like across the courtyard, and down a hallway. But you catch enough glimpse of what's going on. That if you may you teleport them right across the hallway, right across the area. Okay.
And right when I teleport right behind him, I whisper into his ear, "How are you doing?"
All right. On the other side of the area, Assassin 1 is going to come at you, Deimos. Miss. Damn it. Assassin 2 is going to fire. Geez, these guys have terrible to hit. And this guy that you're grappling, or that you've been hitting, is going to attack you too. So in the middle of all this, you're there with your sword and your shield, and all these attacks and stuff are flying at you, and you're just like deflecting it and turning and parrying. And it's all bouncing off your armor. Their attacks are not very heavy, so they can't really knock aside your shield and get at your weak points. Their blades are kind of light, so you're actually deflecting everything pretty easily. Your turn. And you take
All right.
2 points of fire damage from the flames on the ground.
Okay. I am going to, as soon as I find it, I'm going to spiritual weapon as a bonus action. I'm going to cast it at what's the level to get the extra damage?
Oh, you got to roll concentration for your armor. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay, you're good. So you roll. You do spiritual weapon.
Yeah, I think I have to cast it at. I'm going to cast it at 3rd level.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to cast it at 4th level just so I get that extra dice.
Okay.
And have that attack this guy.
You hit him.
And then, as my action, I'm going to hit the guy next to me.
Okay.
And I'm still stand guard.
Okay. All right. So, back across the other side of the palace, Feldorn, you see Euphemia and Ashok just materialize behind one of these guys. What do you do?
Focus on the other guy. This guy can't do anything to us.
I just wink at Euphemia and I point towards the guy in front of me as I begin puffing up black clouds of skulls from my pipe, and I say to him, "You're going to serve me for all eternity." And I cast Finger of Death.
Okay. He fails. Jeez. Okay. So the necrotic blast kind of like strikes him, and he kind of shrivels up, and you can see his body kind of like desiccate as the moisture gets all drained completely out of him. But he doesn't fall. He just kind of hunches over. His staff falls down to the ground.
And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna point over to the other one, and I'm going to again in Abyssal, I'm gonna say, "A curse upon your intelligence. May your mind rot." And I move my hex onto Azure Sculptor number 2.
Okay, and you're cursing his intelligence.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, Killjack, your turn. Killjack.
Finish him off, Killjack.
We can't
And I
hear you.
think he's muted.
I can't hear him.
He wants to. He just typed out. Can he type his actions?
Sure.
Damn. Maybe I should just leave my team speak going.
Euphemia, you still have a team
Well,
speak
I
server
have
open?
a team speak. Yeah, it's always open. We don't pay for it. It's free.
Yeah, we can probably bounce over that one next week. For some reason, Discord is just not... When you're going back and forth between the app and the website, it just doesn't connect super well. Okay, so you step forward. You're going to cast Burning Hands. It's a 15-foot cone, so you can do that without hitting Euphemia and Ashok. If you stand right there.
Oh, Euphemia's gonna feel the heat. Ashok's not.
Should get a little sweaty.
I have a resistance to flame, so I don't sweat at all.
Okay. Alright, target it and roll it. fails his save, so he gets full damage. Okay, he kind of goes up in a burst of flame, and for some reason, Ashok and Euphemia, the flames, you can see them hit him, and they kind of split, and they like mold around your bodies, and you don't get touched by a single lick of the flame. It kind of just like warps and shapes around you. And as the flames die down, you see your dwarf friend standing, his hands out front um, in a his fingers intertwined as he holds out the somatic component of his spell. And yeah, for some reason, the flames just kind of completely avoided you while they incinerated the spellcaster that was standing there.
I'm gonna poke his hands with my ice sword and freeze him.
Okay. All right. So as you guys are standing there, Elwyn, and as you see the second guy fall across the hallway, you see bursting open the door to Falls of Bright Lord's chamber, and two assassins come flying out, and they land on their asses out there. And in the doorway is Falls of Bright Lord holding her great sword. There's a long streak of blood across her neck and shoulder, and you can tell that she's been fighting, and there's blood dripping from her sword. But the two assassins have fallen out onto the ground. They are... Second.
How far away is she?
Just on the hallway, so probably about 60 feet away from you. Maybe 40 feet.
So can I throw her like a healing word?
Yeah, on your turn, yeah. Okay, so Elwyn, but you're up, Elwyn. So you see two
Okay.
more assassins, yeah.
All right, so we're in
there.
this tower. We're in the tower where the queen is.
Correct.
How far away is the other tower where the princess is?
It's on the other side of the complex, so probably about 100 yards away.
So like 300 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast. Looking at these guys, it's two of them. This group can handle them. I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna check on the princess. You guys handle the queen, and
Take
I'm gonna
someone with
dimension. You want to go with me, Feldorn?
Yeah, sure. I'll go help.
Okay. I'll take Feldorn with me, and I'll dimension door outside of the princess's door.
And actually, right before I step through the door, I shout to my new zombie, "Help defend the queen!"
Okay. And Kildrak, as you kind of say that, they disappear in the air. Elwyn can only take one person with him. You guys, you guys teleport, and Elwyn, you stand there and you see two assassins bearing down on Deimos, and Deimos is standing on a patch of fire burning underneath him, standing, his shield up in front, kind of crouched down behind it, standing guard in front of Kelia's doorway.
Okay, so as soon as we step out of the portal, I'm gonna quicken and twin another firebolt.
Okay, you can do that.
Here's the attack rolls, and here's the damage.
All right. So blasted in the back by the firebolts, you can see them definitely being taken by surprise.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Ashok, you're up.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
Am I in range of Assassin 3, or is that line different?
That's different. No, that's completely on the other side of the complex.
Yeah,
now.
focus on 4 and 5.
Okay.
How far away are away from us?
Um, they're about 30 feet away. Here, let me move you guys so it's in perspective. It's more like that.
I'm gonna cast my attacks.
Okay. Okay, so you target him, and you toss out a couple of arrow shots.
My second one hit.
All right.
Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot to do this.
The sharpshooter effect just adds 10 damage automatically, right?
Did you put the -5 on
Yeah,
your
it's
hit
on
attack?
there.
Okay, yes, 10 damage then.
So did it count that, or does it need to be manually added?
It hit. So you did it automatically. The 17 damage. All right.
Okay.
Euphemia, your turn.
And you said they were like 40 feet away from us, or 30?
This far away. So the map is accurate now.
You changed. I can't reach. Where's the queen?
The queen is further up, further above them. Probably another 10 feet past them.
So get there, I think, and I'll cast ice.
Okay. Ice dagger. All right, one success, one failure. The hits.
Whoa, what the hell happened?
Yeah, it rolls all of them at the same time. So you hit on both of them. Although you're only really supposed to hit one of them, and then the one
I didn't
succeeded.
target. I only target one, so I don't know what the hell happened.
That is weird.
Because you targeted yourself.
Oh yeah, it looks like you did target yourself. All right, well it hits him and he fails to save.
Okay, don't remember did that.
Okay. So the ice dagger hits him, and then there's an explosion of frost energy around him. Anything else?
And then I'm gonna give this Kildrak Bark Inspiration.
Okay, Kildrak, you have bardic inspiration. On that, this assassin is going to spin around and come charging at you, Euphemia. His short sword's drawn. He's going to attack twice. That looks like it's going to be a hit. And you have to make a Constitution saving throw, which you succeed, so you only take half damage from the poison. Alright. His second short sword, however, is going to come up from an upward angle, and it's going to slash through and miss you. This guy is going to charge forward. He's going to spin around at you also, and he's going to attack. That one will hit. You get sneak attack damage.
Wait. Sorry, can someone stop? Can I cast shield on the first hit?
The very first hit?
Sorry, someone was in real life was talking to me. Yeah. I had to take off my headset.
On the 20? Or which one?
I don't know. Which one? Whatever when the first guy
The first
attacked.
the first one was a 25.
Shield.
So it would have hit
Okay,
anyway.
so I couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But can I cast it on this one?
Sure. Okay. So your AC goes up to 23. So this one misses. I'll take the damage off you.
I basically just use my free hand to make a magical shield that deflects the blade.
Okay. And here's his last attack. It will miss. All right. Back on your side of the building, Deimos. This Assassin 3 is going to come at you again with his sword. It'll miss, and one more time. That
I
is a
will do the
25.
same thing too. I'll burn one of my I'm a tank spells.
All right. Behind you, this assassin back here, he's startled by the appearance of you guys. He kind of spins around and slashes backwards, almost blindly at you guys with his short sword. Elwyn, this one's coming at you.
I'm gonna cast shield.
Okay. And the second one's going to come swiping across you, Feldorn.
I will also cast shield as I get a free cast of it from Magic Initiate.
All right. So both of them, as you guys appear, he comes slashing out with both, reactively spins around with both short swords, and arcane barriers arise in front of you and deflect both of his attacks. Deimos, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna have Tempest Spear drop down the back of Assassin 3. Oh, darn it. But then I'm gonna turn around and kind of punch him.
Okay. That will hit.
I'm sure it won't knock him out, but if it does, this is non-lethal.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, there we go.
All right. So you
Yeah,
crack
so-
him in the face, and he slumps down to the ground unconscious.
I'm gonna tell Deimos, why are you standing in the fire, buddy?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you take fire
blocking the
damage.
door, bro.
Oh,
Two
okay.
more fire damage. All right. Feldorn, it's your turn.
Seeing that Deimos knocked the other guy unconscious, I'm going to look at this guy and I say, "You know you're about to die, right?" And with that, I'm going to draw my rapier, and as I draw it again, it morphs into that wavy green flame-looking blade, and the guard on it turns into a skull with two moving eyes.
Mhm.
And I stab at this guy twice with it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Actually, that first one should have had the hex on it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it and just add the damage. 6.
6 more.
Okay. I got it.
Yep, hexes every time I damage somebody.
Got it.
And second attack.
That hits. Okay. So you slash into him twice, and he's staggering as these heavy, blood-filled wounds, blood oozing wounds are opened up in his side and in his stomach.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty. Elwyn, you're up.
I'm gonna reach out and grab him by the throat. And shock the hell out of him.
Okay.
That's it.
That finishes him off.
Oh, bonus action. I'm going to use 2 spell slots, 2 second level spells to get back 4 sorcery points.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, did my zombie get a turn?
Yeah. Let me add him.
He should have come in on the turn that the guy I killed has.
He's a little slow in getting up. But he eventually makes it around. So he's here. There you go.
And he has standing orders to protect the queen.
Okay. So he's gonna shamble over in this direction. He's
Yeah,
actually,
that's probably the worst thing you could have done.
he's gonna actually go over here and he's gonna get one attack in on this guy, because why the hell not? Oh, he hits. Shit. He walks over while these guys are attacking Euphemia, just really surrounding her. He, like this zombie kind of like caster who's still wearing his robes, takes his quarterstaff out and just come out and bops the guy in the head.
Well, what's funny is the corpse is still fresh, so it kind of looks like their friend too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. The guy's like, Frederick, what are you doing? Oh shit. Okay, Killjack, you're up. Killjack, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yes, type it out.
Oh, that's right. Just roll it. Whatever you're gonna do, just target them and roll it.
Well, we could just go over to the other server if you want. It's like 35 seconds. Unless we're ending soon.
Yeah, well, it's we're getting close to time. So he runs up about there. He's probably gonna burning hands or something. Yeah.
Great commentary.
One of them succeeds, one fails. Go ahead and roll. Okay. The damage goes out, but these guys, for some reason, they seem to slip between the different tendrils of flame, and they don't take as much damage as you would have hoped. In fact, one of them takes no damage at all. You're re-rolling damage to max it out or something? Alright. Well, the first one was the exact same damage, so it doesn't matter.
I think he has he has the rune ability.
Yeah, but he rolled the same, so 19 and 19. Okay, Ashok, you're up.
I keep shooting at the one that I hunter's marked.
Yes. Fire away.
Very nice.
Whoa. 3 ones.
That will hit. Alright, that takes that one out. As a couple of quick arrow bolts just sprout from his neck and his like right where his heart is. Euphemia, you see the one guy drop down behind you on the ground, and you see this one in front of you just get bopped on the head. He's startled because of this. His zombie friend is kind of shambling over to him. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just start cutting at him with my ice sword.
Okay, target him and roll it. That hits. So on the other side of the tower, what are you guys doing there with that knocked out guy?
I'm putting those shackles
That
on.
should have... It didn't have my extra damage on that for some reason.
Just roll it extra. I'll add it.
He's only unconscious, right? He's not dying?
Yes.
Damn, I kind of want to freak the fuck out of him, but I don't know how this town would react.
Good hits, Euphemia. He slashes. He's very hurt. Alright. Well, this one guy's gonna get one
I'm
last
done.
set of attacks in at you, Euphemia. That would be a hit.
I'm gonna cast
Shield,
Shield on
okay.
it.
Second attack. I think.
Nope.
Nope, still misses. Okay. The zombie's gonna swing at him one more time. Will miss. All right. So what are you guys doing with that assassin up there where you are?
Well, Deimos and Feldorn kind kind of talk to him.
Well,
I'm gonna look
shackle
around
him up.
the. I'm gonna look around the hallway and make sure there's no more dudes.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
roll.
gonna shackle him, and then I'm gonna kick in the door, and then make sure the girl's okay.
Okay, so roll perception, Elwin. All right, Elwin, you don't. From a quick glance around, you don't see evidence of any other intruders in this area on in the hallway. Ashok, it's your turn. Go ahead and start rolling damage on that last assassin. Okay, so yeah,
Do no non-lethal damage.
Feldorn, you reach out and you
Ashok.
squelch the flame. You can't designate range damage as non-lethal. It has to be melee.
It does?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Didn't know that.
Alright, so he's running up and attacking with scimitars. Or his quarterstaff. That hits.
I bonked him.
Yep. You smack him on the head. You going again? He's really close. Oh, you miss. Okay.
You
Don't
should
tell me
have
that.
your
I was gonna say, don't tell me the zombie's gonna knock him out.
Zombie's gonna get a roll. He's gonna miss. Okay. Euphemia, go ahead and it's your turn. Go ahead and attack the guy. So Deimos, you shackled this guy up. Feldorn, is there anything you want to do on your side?
Well, I'm kind of talking to Deimos. I go to Deimos. So Deimos, how do you think people would feel if I turn these corpses into undead just to freak this guy out?
They already lost a fight against you, so I guess you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to make the queen angry. I mean, there is this horde of undead outside.
Yeah, that kind of be.
Good.
Yeah, we might cause some panic that the undead are inside.
Can I banish his undead?
He comes back because he's of this plane.
Yeah, he's of this plane. He'd pop back in 1 minute.
Ah.
But I will move
Can I
the.
decapitate him?
You can do whatever you want. He's- Feldorn,
Really?
Okay, I'm
that.
just gonna cut off the zombie's head.
Feldorn, she kills your zombie.
Actually, undead fortitude. She has to roll damage on it, see if it comes back.
Roll damage. Go ahead.
It's magical, so it's already dead.
Nope, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Has
It's
to
only
be
if it's a non-magical attack.
undead creature has to be killed by crit or radiant damage. I DM a lot. I know.
Yeah, it's some zombies specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That would hit.
And they're immune to psychic.
That would have been a lot of damage. Oh, are they immune to psychic? Alright,
I
well,
believe
she has
they
all
are.
the time in the world to be hacking away at him. While that's going on, Deimos, you kicked in the door, right?
Yeah, I kicked in the door. I brought the weapon with me too.
Which weapon?
The spiritual weapon.
Okay. So you kick in the door, and as soon as the door opens, a chill washes out over the hallway. Like, the temperature inside was a good, 20 or 30 degrees colder than it was outside where you are. Alright?
Okay.
You look in the room, and as your eyes quickly acclimate, you see Akelia Brightlord lying in her bed, fully asleep, encased, or at least in what seems to be like a growing curtain of ice as it seems to be creeping up her body. And standing there, over her, you see this guy.
What the fuck is that?
Alright? He
That's
turns
a
to you.
dead guy.
He turns to you and says, "Do not interfere in our noble cause." And he's gonna, and with a gesture, a wall of ice appears up in front of where you are, in front of the doorway, and he pulls out a dagger, and he brings it down towards Akelia's neck.
I'm gonna
Can I-
counterspell his wall of ice.
Yeah, and can I also do like the hold person or hold monster, whichever one you want me to do?
And I'm gonna do it at 6th level.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna have the chains wrap around him as a bonus action.
So
And as
Elwin,
am I.
you're able to stop the wall from fully forming. Deimos, you just kicked in the door, so that was kind of like your action at that moment.
Can I use my War God's Blessing to turn my bonus action to another action? Type of thing? To cast that spell?
Actually, I'm gonna cast Hold Monster, and as my bonus action, I'm gonna point out at him and hex his wisdom.
All right, so I'll
Let's
give
ruin
you
the
both a
DM's
chance to do
day.
it. So you guys
Let's
are doing
kill
it at
him.
the same time. You guys are doing it at the same time. So he's on the chart. He's on the combat tracker. You're gonna try to hold him. So Deimos, go ahead and target and roll it. See if you can.
Is he a person or a monster? Which one?
You
I'll
don't.
do
You can't
monster.
tell.
Definitely do a monster then. So I gotta find on my
I
list.
would be a person. My 20 bucks says that I know. I think he's from the Magic Kingdom that we starting.
Okay. So So let's see who rolled that.
Feldorn.
Feldorn.
Why did Deimos target himself?
Oh, damn it. I didn't hold myself.
So as you guys both go in and you see him with his dagger, he reaches and he's bringing it down towards Akelia's neck. You both raise your hands and cast hold monster spells at the same time. Deimos, yours misfires and he's able to shrug it off. And Feldorn, you see yours go out and you see it wrap around him. And then he looks and he tilts his head and his eyes flash blue and your spell shatters as he burns a legendary resistance to succeed.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Okay?
Can my chains wrap them up though?
And I think that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Ah, damn. That was fun.
Okay? So that'd be interesting.
Well, thanks.
If he
Yeah,
manages
thanks
to
for
kill,
running that.
if he manages to kill the princess, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, that would not be good.
All right.
How close are we to leveling?
Oh, here, let me see what you guys are at.
Yeah. Also, do we get all the experience from the zombies? I think
know
we
what?
did
You know what?
kill
You know-
them.
You know, why not? Okay, here, I'll give you some extra experience for that.
Well, fuck that. I'm gonna fucking. Next time, I'm gonna just raise the undead and have them defend the princess.
That was for like friggin' divine intervention. That's worth extra experience, don't you think?
I would think so, right? Yeah, totally.
You know, those zombies only give us like 1 experience each, right?
Ah, it's got to be like at least 20 to 50.
So that was for the assassins, and this is for all the other stuff. So you guys will probably level next week.
Oh,
Didn't we
cool.
just level?
Couple
No,
sessions
it's
ago.
been a while.
Like 3 sessions ago. Yeah, you'll level next week.
Finally, my wings.
Oh shit! At level 14, I get to hurdle people through hell.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
shit.
6 spell. Alright, so you guys have Euphemia's hacking away at the zombie trying to kill it. It's going to take several rounds of attacks for her to actually kill it. Ashok and Killjack are kind of just looking at her in bafflement. Elwyn, Feldorn, and Deimos, you guys have an unconscious assassin there on the ground, and you're facing off against this Azure Noble that is bringing a dagger down towards Akelia's neck.
I still have an action, right? Because the counter spell was a reaction.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, cool.
We still have that other assassin too, right?
Yeah, he's unconscious too. Your guys is unconscious.
All right. Well, I'll see you
Alright.
guys next week then.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. That was fun.
Thanks,
Yeah, that
guys.
was
Fun playing. Catch you guys next week.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Laters.